All right. This is a bit of a disappointment. Hello, EAE. I'm gonna send the promos out anyway. Lo's probably not even gonna show up since she's at her little wedding. But we are gonna review a piece of Lo's content, if that counts. Probably don't though. I'm going to keep this up, and I'm gonna go start spamming the link. Hey, Stanley. You can come up if you want. This is actually gonna be about you. If you've seen the title, the link's in the chat. Come up if you feel like it. I'm about to start it up in a minute. Nah, EAE. I'm pretty sure it's the real Stanley. And I've already checked the date of his account because I know that's him. Oh, there were really several clone accounts. I'll be up in about 2 minutes. All right, I guess I'll wait for Stanley then. I'm gonna pull up the shared screen. All right, bada bop. This is nice and big. No, hearing about the P bomb, you better check the account date. Already did AAE. Says from 10 years ago. Same time as Stanley's. All right. Brave. Yeah, this was this clone Stanley HB and Bray. Oh, okay, a bunch of troll accounts. Oh, that's pretty funny. Mine says 19 years ago, apparently. First created my account in high school watching twerk videos. Okay. Dang. That's pretty fucking funny. All right. Okay. I'm going to keep sending this link out right quick. Spam the invite link. Anybody wants to come up, they can. We're just getting ready before everything starts. Now, a little story. I found an alternative to StreamYard that's a lot cheaper, but I keep having an issue of every time I try to go live, it doesn't actually show up on YouTube for some reason, so I'm going to have to figure that out. But it's a lot cheaper but since it's a lot cheaper in StreamYard and it has a lot more features than StreamYard, I'm going to try to use it from now on instead of good old StreamYard. We got the typical 4 people in the audience. That's nice. All right, we're gonna test these banners. That's the Cash App banner, and that's gonna be Lowe's banner once I get her Cash App as well. I think HB might be quarter Asian. His eyes don't lie. Yeah, I always thought HB was like a Blasian type of dude. He maybe got like an Asian grandma or something. His eyes are too almond shaped for him to be pure black.
To the urban landlord audience,
God dang. Okay, that's a little too loud. All right.
I am your host, HB2N. This is the debate for America. Stanley Cross versus Be Brave and Think. We'll be discussing politics, race, and culture. We are discussing the fabric of America today, ladies and gentlemen.
Can everybody hear the audio? Doing an audio test right quick before we start. If Stanley said he's going to come up here in about 2 minutes. So once he gets up here, we're going to do a full borderline interview, basically. I also do want to get other people up here to get their thoughts. Up right when I say something. Right when I say something. What up, Mr. Cross? You are on mute, sir.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
But yeah, it's I think you described it great.
Really?
It's yeah, the Battle of AARP, that's pretty funny.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It took me approximately 15 minutes to think of that.
Yeah, well, greatness doesn't take long.
It really doesn't. How are you doing, sir, after your hard-fought battle?
You know what? I am tired.
Really?
Yeah, I'm kind of an introvert, believe it or not, and having to deal with people sometimes is kind of taxing.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I was willing to put some money down that you wouldn't actually have the debate, but I was proven wrong.
Well, why wouldn't I?
Honestly, I don't know. You sound right when the idea was first crossed your mind, pun intended. Basically, you were very admissive to it. You didn't really like the idea.
I still don't.
Oh, okay. So nothing's
Well, I
really
mean,
changed, but
you gotta do what you gotta do.
okay. Oh, you see it as more as like work.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay, okay. That's a very good understanding of your mindset. Shout out to let me do some shout outs right quick, please, if you don't mind.
Do
Uh, Universal Jones, what's good? Shout out, shout out to Universal. He said he's gonna come up later. Shout out to T.
Hey
I,
T.
hey T, I didn't expect you to be here. Thank you for the subscription as well as the tuning in. If you want to come up on the panel, you can. Let me just spam the link right quick. Just put that down. All right. Salute to EAE. I said hi to Hugh earlier. And salute to Napstar. Where is your comment, sir? There you are. And that seems to be about everybody that's in here right now. And salute to all the other people who I can't obviously aren't commenting and I can't see. But back to you, Stanley. So after your decent, I haven't. Now I'm going to tell you this right now. I have not seen a lick of this interview. I did
Oh
not show
good.
up
Well,
in chat.
that's a good thing.
Yes. I wanted to do it when
It'll,
I decided to
it'll be
do
a
a.
total surprise.
Yes, this is going to be a total surprise for me, and I'm pretty sure everyone here has already seen the interview, other than myself, of course. So as I, review this and get anybody else's opinion, I noticed John did not do a post review on the main channel, so I decided to host one here.
Well, I'm sure he will.
Probably. But
But
I guess first come
this
first serve
isn't
for me.
really, in a well, I'm not going to overtalk, but it's not really John's I think I tend to be a little bit too non-ghetto for John.
Non-ghetto. Could you elaborate on non-ghetto?
Well, I mean, there are two ways of. Oh man, it's kind of hard to explain. John is capable. I think you know John. John and I are a lot alike in some ways, but we're also not alike. Um, so we get along famously, but I just tend to see life a little bit different. I think that John and Be Brave are very, very similar in that, I don't feel, if you come and you go, hey, if you tell me that there's violence in the ghetto and
Uh-huh.
black people need to get it together, my first instinct is like, I don't live in the ghetto. Why is it my responsibility?
True,
Um,
true, true.
and this is something that Brave and John actually share. They seem to think that the old, in my opinion, it's an anachronism. But you represent your race. You need to be a credit to your race. That died like in the 70s.
Oh, okay, okay. But
And
well,
I mean, you get what I'm saying. These people seem to think that, one bad act by a black person reflects on the whole race. And to me, that's 1960s, 1970s. That stuff died out in the 80s.
okay. So after your, well, not after your interview, basically during the interview, did you have any thoughts or things that you didn't get to say that you wish you said?
No.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Oh, I'm real good at saying what I think.
All right, all right, all right.
When,
So,
when you get 60, yeah, you know what you think.
mm, okay, okay. I did honestly. I'm kind of glad that I didn't get to watch this interview prior, because this is going to be extremely exciting. Since this is going to be my
It's gonna be
live
boring.
reaction.
It's gonna be boring. They're really it was, as HB put it, very gentlemanly, and I'm
Oh,
glad
so
that
no, so okay,
no,
so no fuck shit. Okay.
they weren't really any fireworks.
Was there any form of back and forth between you two?
Yes.
Okay, okay. All right. I think we have enough people in the audience to where we could finally get started. Let me pull up the original. Now I'm gonna test the sound right quick. So tell me if you can hear it or if it's too loud.
This is a very serious debate. Both of these
No, I
gentlemen
can hear it, and
are
it's not too
prepared
loud.
to
All
go
As a
right.
matter of
war
fact, let me
for
put in
America.
my earbuds.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that
Um.
I don't want. Let me ask you a question. Do you hear feedback over this mic?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put in earbuds anyway.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna cam up. Give me a second. You can talk to the crowd while I wait. I'll be back. Need to turn my lamp on. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Can you hear me, Stanley?
I can.
All right. All right.
I can.
All right. Good. 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 EAE. No. No, I haven't. And honestly, I don't want to. Just to answer your question, I do not want to. I'm not in the mood. So let's get on with the review.
Hey. Oh man,
What's up?
EA doesn't like my looks.
Oh, he doesn't like your hair.
Well, you know what? I'm 60. I know you want me to look 20 years younger, but I'm not.
All right. Whew.
I need everybody in the chat to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and
Oh,
please, if you appreciate what we're doing here today, make
there you
sure
go.
you donate to Cash App.
Now, Stanley, is this interview kind of slow paced? Because I was thinking about speeding it up a bit.
It's fairly. You can speed it up. It is slow paced, and see, this is kind of what I like to do, and I don't get to do on panels. I like slow and deliberative. I like thinking before I speak. I know how. See, this is the weird thing. I know how to shoot from the hip with the one liner, but
Mm-hmm.
my natural habitat is thinking before I speak.
So you prefer a debate style, like a debate
Well, it
style
wasn't a
format?
debate. It was kind of a debate where, Be Brave would make a point, I would make a point, and you address the point.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Um, However, it didn't, you know, in my opinion, it was good. It was an adult debate. We didn't have to deal with fallacies and all this stuff. This might be, one of the things that old people like me and Brave know how to do.
Mm, okay.
If
So
you've ever
was
watched, you remember watching the Pop the Balloons,
yeah,
where,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
my opinion, the seniors know how to deliver a point or a one liner or a verbal punch, but be cordial. You don't see a whole lot of you know um, bitterness in those senior Pop the Balloons.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
And
So,
B Brave is like that. B Brave's a good guy.
hmm. I mean, I didn't doubt it. I just expected more. What's the word? Chaos. Chaos. I
Well,
expected more
put
chaos.
us put us back. Excuse me. Put us back on a panel. With a bunch of people. HB made a great point.
Mm-hmm.
Put the chaos aside. It was the moderator, me and Be Brave. Quite frankly, it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, slow and deliberative.
All right. Well, since it's as slow as you say, I'm going to. Oh shit! That's not what I meant to do. I'm gonna put it on. Actually, no. Let's try 1.5 and let's see how fast this goes. Did you receive any cash apps, by the way? Because I remember HB saying something
We
about y'all
did, and
splitting
as a
some
matter
money.
of fact, we did, um, and it is like totally appreciated. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised we did get cash apps.
Nah, I was kind of expecting.
It's
We got some pretty generous people in the John Galt sphere.
true.
So I believe you got some good. I'm glad you did. I'm at least glad you enjoyed it. Honestly, some people were speculating that that you or Be Brave might rage quit.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, now let me put it to
Mainly,
you this
maybe
way.
it has something to
HB
do with more
HB
chaos.
said what the rules were. Now, see, you got to give credit to HB and Portia. They
Okay.
explained how the rules were going to be, and you know that's a weird thing about adults. If you know the rules, follow the rules, unless there's a good reason not to.
Mm-hmm.
There was no. Yeah, I had a couple one-liners. Be Brave had a couple one-liners, but it was an adult conversation.
All right. All right. All right. Mainly because most people were assuming, including myself, I will admit this. We assumed that it would break down in like an hour. Most people thought that y'all
Uh,
would
you got a
either you or Be Brave would
70-year-old.
say something, and then everything would just collapse.
Oh,
Mainly.
I'm sure I said something, and I'm sure Be Brave said something. But the difference is, and I hate to be all ageist and stuff, but a
Hmm.
70-year-old knows how to talk to a 60-year-old. 60-year-olds, it doesn't have to be like that. You can actually make your pithy point and frame it in a way that's just not abrasive. Now, the panel discussions, I went after Wicked last night or night before last, and I literally told him what I thought. Today was not a John Galt panel, it was an adult conversation.
Okay. So
And
also,
HB was very clear about what he wanted.
oh, okay, okay, okay.
And I'm not about to disappoint HB. When he puts his foot down, I know how to play by rules.
All right, that's good. Do you think this will be these debate style panels will be a thing in the future?
You know what? I hope so.
Okay. Okay.
And I hope it's not me and Be Brave. I hope that anyone who has an important point and a point of view that's serious. No, I hope it becomes a regular feature.
Okay. Do you think that the beef between you and Be Brave is now somewhat squashed or minimized?
There was never a beef, in my opinion. It's a
Really?
difference of opinion. And if when you watch the debate, we didn't resolve anything, but at least we defined how we see America, culture, all that stuff. It's a lot more clear. And I knew what Be Brave thought in the first place. He knew what I thought in the first place. But I actually think, and I think HB specifically, he basically said, the purpose of this is for other people to kind of know where you're coming from. So
Okay.
there will
Okay.
be camps, there will be people who disagree with me, but the one thing they can't say is that they don't know what I think.
Gotcha. 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 So I will play this a bit, and I have to step away for a second. I have been
Okay.
called.
That $ Portia J. She will be splitting all the proceeds to Be Brave and Think and Stanley Cross. These gentlemen have lived a long life. They've seen a lot of wisdom from both of them. And I hope you guys can appreciate that they're taking their time out today to discuss the fabric of America. Let me acknowledge the chat real quick. I definitely appreciate everybody. We got Here for the Tea. Good afternoon, Here for the Tea. Uchow. And Nate Ways is in the building. Mr. John Galt is in the building. Plasma Void. Blue Chunks. Appreciate that. San Jose Made. 12th Man's in the building. We're going to get started, you guys. We're going to have a 3-minute cap on these responses. We're going to start out by introducing first, you guys know him as Stanley Cross, Navy veteran, father of one, man that has read over 10,000 books. He is representing America. He served his nation. We got Stanley Cross in the building. Stanley Cross, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Only 10,000?
Only 10,000 and counting. 10,000 and counting. 10,000 and counting. Now we
Oh my
have
lord.
good to see you, Stanley. Now,
What's up?
It's kind of choppy. Is it me or you?
It's smooth on my end. Hold on, let me.
Hmm.
we have
Well,
you guys know
well,
him.
I was there. I know what happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's smooth on my end. I don't know what's going on. All right, I'll play it.
He's very infamous on these streets. One of the best shit talkers that I've ever seen. Proud American, proud man, very opinionated. Be brave and think to the stage. Be brave and think, man. How's it going?
I think I've read a total of the entire books. I think I've read a total of 7.
Oh,
Goodness.
this is gonna be.
You good, Stanley?
Yeah, I had to sneeze.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
We
A whole lot of bits and pieces,
got a
but
high
yeah.
pollen count down here in
Okay.
Georgia.
This is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be interesting. How you feeling, Brave?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Okay.
Full of observations. That's
Okay.
what we're doing.
Stanley, how you feeling?
Pretty good.
Okay.
I,
All right.
I even got rest.
Okay, you look well rested. I do want to remind the chat one more time, if you guys want to help sponsor this debate and to see debates moving forward, please donate to the bank at Portia J. Any Cash App or donation will be acknowledged, and we will be splitting them.
You know, if you really look into it, listen to Pro Black for wanting to
Where does this really start at? I guess here. assuming right
acknowledge,
here.
Pretty much
and we
All
will
right.
be
start
splitting them
once
between the two.
What'd you say,
it's
Stanley?
slow. No,
Yeah, it
it's
is. Hold
slow,
on.
but it'll progress.
Yeah.
Portia, let me know in the back chat when people do donate, and we'll make sure we acknowledge all of that. So we're going to start this off. Here are the rules, gentlemen. You'll have a max of 3 minutes to respond to these questions. Stanley is the home team, so
Did y'all enforce this? The 3-minute rule.
Yes.
Okay.
Brave,
Now
you will be
I'm
answering the
for,
questions first.
someone went over, but no, it's
Yeah.
pretty much enforced. And you know me, I'm not like I don't need a paragraph to say a couple sentences.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Is everybody okay with that?
No, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, gentlemen. We're going to go with the first question here. Now, this is a question that Stanley actually wanted to know. What does it mean to be pro-Black? Be brave. Go ahead.
Well, nowadays I think it's a shame that it has come to mean. It's terrible, in fact. I could never fault the Black Americans for wanting to come together as a group. I understand that there's only 40 million of them. I understand that fully. But I think pro-Black has come to mean an exaggerated fear of whitey. And it's like the problem with that is while the pro-Blacks are complaining about whitey, they're really letting the inner cities that really need their attention as far as criticism and critiques, the inner cities being left completely unacknowledged. There's a small percentage of Black Americans doing a great deal of damage to the inner cities. So when the pro-Black, when they get in that frame of mind, and I'm talking in general, I'm not being specific about any person. I'm adding up all the pro-Blacks I hear talk. They're way, way too concerned with the white man. Racism is as fixed as it's ever going to get. It's time for pro-Blacks. If I were to be a Black man and I wanted to reform the pro-Black movement, it's time for them to really start criticizing who it is that's really causing the Black race the problems in this country. And the fact that they don't do that means that to be pro-Black has kind of almost come to be something that's sad. I think that if you really, if you really look into it, listen to pro-Blacks, who they are, what they're saying, and you'll never hear them criticize the things that are really destroying the Black communities in the inner cities. I understand that nobody's expected to go back in and fix the inner cities. My point about pro-Blacks, though, is that if you're going to utter an opinion, make the opinion valuable to a point where it addresses something. When the pro-Blacks talk about whitey, I can't think of a more wasted manner of thinking at all. And I must give Stanley credit. I do not hear him blaming whitey at all. Bless his heart. But when I hear pro-Blacks speak and they're worried about whitey, it's quite a waste considering what's needed to be talked about in the Black community. I'm good, HB.
Okay. You had about 15 seconds left on the clock.
Good.
Stanley, same question to you. What does it mean to be pro-Black, Stanley?
I have no clue what it means. People call me pro-Black. My response to that is I'm not, if not being anti-Black is pro-Black, then I'm pro-Black. I think it's basically a pejorative that I hear Black people in this particular space, well, pretty much everybody in this space almost, if you say nothing's wrong with the Black community, excuse me, then you are, quote, pro-Black. And what I want to point out, the inner city is not where all Black people live. Most Black people do not live even in urban areas. So I personally have never lived in the ghetto, wasn't born in the ghetto. Why would I feel responsible for fixing it? And that's pretty much my response. It's pro-Black. I have no clue what it means. I'm not anti-Black seems to be, everyone's answer.
Okay, Stanley. Be brave. Would you like to respond to that? Oh, wait. Sorry about that, Be brave. I muted your mic. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Be brave.
Okay. How we doing? You got me?
Yep. Loud and clear.
Yeah. When I'm speaking to pro-Black and when I think pro-Black, I'm thinking people that are not thinking real clearly. I understand that it's not anybody's obligation to fix the inner cities. But if you're going to speak real passionately about race matters in this country, That's what pro-blacks seem to want to do. And I'm saying if you're going to speak passionately about something, you have to be much more, you have to prioritize. Whitey isn't the problem for black people. Again, it's not. The inner cities is the biggest problem for black people. I understand most don't live there. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the inner cities and the blacks that are in the inner cities, what they're doing is they're making it so people don't want to live around blacks at all. And that's the sad part about it. So if you're, and I'll wrap this up, if you're pro-black, you need to prioritize and get some courage and start discussing the reason why people are running away from living around blacks at all. And I think that's what I'm saying when pro-blacks are messing up, because if you got that passion, they really need to do something and be more creative with it. I'm good.
Stanley, do you have to reply?
Yeah, I think passion is the problem. Okay, you don't solve problems, with you solve problems objectively. You solve it with critical thinking. Passion doesn't solve problems. Oh, and by the way, the inner city, because most blacks don't live there, I don't agree that it is black people's problem. If people don't want to live around blacks because of what's happening in the inner city, don't move to the inner city.
Or do you have a rebuttal to that?
On passion, passion is the initial energy. That's all I was referring to. But he's right. If I'm still saying, if you got that energy and you want to put it in that direction, they really need to focus on what's going on. And again, if you talk about moving away from blacks in the inner city, I understand that fully. But the blacks in the inner city are causing a great deal of headaches for everybody across the country because of spread. I'm good. Got it.
Okay. I think we've pretty much covered this question. I do want to remind the audience to please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and please donate to Portia J. Cash App. Proceeds will be going to both Stanley and Be Brave. We're going to move on to the next question. And Be Brave, you'll be answering this first. Are Black Americans responsible for the degradation of the fabric of America?
Could you put it up on the screen? So that's a long question.
Give me 1 second. It's about to pop up on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Are Black Americans responsible for the degradation of the fabric of America?
They're the biggest factor by far right now. There's many things that the American culture is going down the drain because of. Black Americans are the biggest problem to America right now, simply because there's just much excuse making and apologizing. I'm not giving any numbers. There's too much excuse making and apologizing, and then there's people that realize that they're going to have cover because of that excuse making and apologizing. For the people, and you see that on major networks, the Joy Reids and the Roland Martins and the Rashard Richies, you'll never see these people ever confront the headaches that the blacks are doing to their own areas where they live in the inner cities. And that's why I say when you got the inner cities and they're not being confronted at all, and you got the same repetitious group of people doing these dastardly crimes, it has to be somewhere stated that probably this is the biggest problem facing the USA right now. There's no other group of people that are destroying the places they live, like blacks in the inner city are destroying where they live. There's no other group of people doing that, nothing even close. So it's just a matter of, if you look at it, and again, you figure out what's stopping people from riding city buses as a bottom feeder. If I lived in the inner cities, I'd be a bus rider, I'd be a train rider, I'd be a public transportation.
Stanley, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Are you for or against segregation? Or do you just not care about it?
Against. Why would I want people to be segregated?
Well, mainly due to the fact that a lot of people think, due to the crime that's happening, not just in the inner cities, but crime in general, that they believe that separating America by races into like separate sectors of America themselves is the ultimate solution. And a lot of people have this.
Go back and listen to what I said. If most black people don't live in the ghetto,
Yeah.
they're already segregated. And if you go back a couple questions, I literally said, if you don't move to the ghetto, if you don't want to live around high crime. Okay, I don't assume that black people who don't live in the ghetto are going to, you're not going to bring high crime to other, you know, non inner city neighborhoods necessarily.
Okay, okay.
Uh, there's no reason for segregation. If you don't want to live around high crime, don't move to a high crime area. Now, the people who do live in the hood, that's a whole lot. That's a whole nother topic about how poverty gets passed on generationally. Um, if you weren't born in the hood, don't move to the hood if you don't want to live around high crime areas.
Do you think
And
poverty?
there are other types of high crime areas.
Mhm.
Don't move to a high crime area if you don't want to be at risk of being a victim of crime.
Do you think poverty always correlates to high crime?
Not always, but I think if you go and look at the statistics, yes, look at the statistics. Statistics, if it's not 100% correlation, because that would be causation. Of course,
Oh,
um,
okay, okay.
no. Just because you're poor doesn't mean you're going to cause crime. Doesn't mean
True,
you're
true,
going to be
true.
a criminal. It correlates.
All right. I'll get on with the video.
I think it's a phenomenal thing, and that people have to
Oh,
concern themselves with it. John McCord.
What'd you say?
yeah, I was gonna say that it always has, at least in American culture, and I'm
Hmm.
I'm confident if you go to Brazil or, poverty correlates to crime, and oddly enough, race. If you separate race out, poverty will still correlate to crime.
All right, all right. Gotcha. I'm gonna speed this up a bit because this is way, way
Yeah, it
more
was.
organized
It was
than I
pretty.
thought.
It was pretty. It's pretty slow.
Yeah, it is.
Porter said, Glenn Lowry's
If you need me to like stop it or slow it down for any reason or another, let me know.
Well, no, I was there. I know what was said, but I would actually appreciate, if you have a question or two, it's not hurting my feelings. I'm happy to answer.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But I do appreciate you coming up here. I do appreciate you coming up here, Stanley.
Yeah, well, I never watch videos that I've done.
Hmm.
So that you were doing it, kind of one of the first times I ever. I hate the sound of my voice. Yeah, I look kind of trashy, but
You look fine.
it
You
is
look
what
fine to me.
it is. What it is.
left-hand man. He's a leftist, and he said in his 25 years of riding the subway with his family, he never once had to worry about white people on the subway. And so this is getting worse because it's getting the media is fueling it. The media is pushing it. The media is giving cover. I look at the media as an entity that is using the blacks as a weapon. I don't care who owns the media. I'm not worried about that. But yeah, no. Right now in America, if there's one thing that could be fixed, that could really take in and encompass all of the would encompass all of the people really just relaxing and having a better life. It's to stop the street crime that's being done by blacks throughout the country and the street crime in the Southwest that's being done by Hispanics.
I have another question for you, Stanley. If Be Brave wasn't talking about black people specifically, would you even have this debate? Like, would this even
Um,
happen?
I'm not even sure if he was talking about white people.
Not in this question. I'm talking about the way Be Brave talks about blacks in general, about them causing crime and
Well,
ruining the fabric of America.
who else would he talk about?
Mm, immigration,
It's his.
the
Well,
J word.
okay. Well, let me put it to you this way: a racist is a racist.
True.
That didn't come up. I'm sure I'll brush against it. I was also very careful. I know how to skirt around stuff. Yeah, I could have easily have stirred up the pot, but it's this is almost like a kind of circling out your adversary just to see what he's capable of. Um,
Uh-huh. So you're
I
testing him in a
am
way.
not, well, in a way, and I'm sure he was doing the same thing to me. I
Okay.
expect it, but the dude's a racist. What else would he talk about?
Any other
And
race, I guess.
he knows what I think of him. And
I
he,
know.
again, he's a great guy. And you know, the wonderful thing about 2025 is his views on race and who's destroying America are just wrong. However, uh, you know, I'm not worried that if I knocked on his door, you know, we could sit on his porch and drink beer and just have a good old time. They're just subjects we just vehemently disagree on.
Do you think Be Brave, if you were walking in his neighborhood, do you think Be Brave would be scared of you?
No, and I wouldn't be scared. Shit, why would I be scared of walking in his neighborhood unless it's high crime? You know,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
if it's a high crime neighborhood, you know, I won't go after the street lights come on. But
Okay.
no, why would I be afraid of Be Brave? He's a good guy. Why would I be afraid of his neighborhood unless it's high crime? And the vice versa. He could come up to my porch, and I actually have a porch with old man rocking chairs.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
it's not a high crime neighborhood. He would be perfectly good.
All right.
You know, this isn't one of these situations where I hate Whitey. You know, I started to address that again.
Stanley,
Um,
for all intents and purposes, no one really thinks that you hate Whitey. I don't think anyone really thinks that. Doesn't make any sense.
well, sometimes I wonder.
They could be just doing it just to mess with you. A lot of people do hate you in a way. I wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't
Well,
project that
why?
type of word on the people you don't actually know on a personal level. That you probably just don't
Well, no,
like
I don't think
talk or
you know. I don't think you can actually hate someone if you actually don't know them.
That's what
But
that's what
I'm
that's what I'm thinking. But some people would disagree. I have talked with somebody who said who would if he mentioned real life he'd
well. Guess what? That's why we won't meet in real life. You know, it's not. You know, see, that's the wonderful thing about America. I get to live around people that I feel safe around.
oh, all right.
So if he can hate me from afar, it does not hurt my feelings. He is not feeding me or providing me. Hey, hate away, buddy,
Mm, all right, all right.
or Missy. I
And
It's a male, but they're probably I don't know if there's any women. Honestly, to be fair, I don't think there's any women that hate you, Stanley. I don't think. At
right,
least
and
I know who.
I wouldn't care. Look, um, I don't know that that person would hate me or literally what I say, dude. The one thing I am not on these channels is I am consistent, and you know what? I'm consistent with my son. I'm consistent on John Galt's channel. I'm consistent. I am me. And I learned a long time ago, maybe in my mid 20s, maybe always known it. If you're always yourself, as horrible as I might be, uh, I'm consistent. People know what to expect when they come up to a panel with me.
All right,
I'm
all right,
not
all right.
going to be one way one day and be another way the next day. If I'm an asshole, if you think I'm an asshole, I'm always going to be an asshole to you.
Mm,
But I'm there are people and I act the same way who are perfectly fine. So be yourself is, you know, how I raised my son.
gotcha, gotcha,
Now
gotcha.
that doesn't mean you can't change. That doesn't mean you can't improve, but you should be yourself
All right.
and be your best self if possible.
See, I like this side of you, Stanley, when you're not screaming at people and
Oh, but
hollering all
I
the
know
time.
how to do that too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You do, you do. That is true. All
Hey, you
right.
got to be a
Hispanics in the
Swiss
Southwest
Army man.
are not doing
Mm,
what the blacks across the nation are doing. So yes, blacks are Yes. People
I'm
don't see it,
listening.
but
I'll be
if you
right
look at
back.
all that it involves, all that it affects, and the far-reaching effects of people just feeling safe, blacks are tearing up the American culture more so than probably any one factor that a person can think of.
Okay. Rating time, be brave. 5 seconds. Stanley, same question. Are Black Americans responsible for the degradation of the fabric of America?
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yes, sir.
There's a Stanley Cross in the chat. That's not me.
Okay. Yeah, I do
So,
see the trolls are
so,
Ah,
so
happy.
it was the
okay.
comment I saw
So
was actually
we
pretty
got some
funny.
trolls
Yeah,
in the chat.
he's
That's funny.
trolling very well this morning. God bless you.
Right. The one thing I want to say, I want to reiterate: most blacks don't live in the inner city or even in urban areas. So, in my opinion, if what's happening in the inner city is the biggest problem, it's a very small group of blacks. I think lumping all blacks in is identity politics, which I hear so many people railing against, the left and the right. If you think the inner city is all Black Americans' problem, that's identity politics. And I could be more specific about what it is, but for the sake of brevity, I'll stop here. Identity politics might be one of the biggest things killing American culture. All blacks do not live in the inner city. It is not all blacks' problem of what's happening in the inner city. It is a very specific group of blacks who live in the inner city, and that's pretty much it for me.
So you're saying it's not the blacks, it's the identity politics that's ruining the degradation, or that's
Yeah,
contributing to the
and
degradation of America.
a lot of people would agree with me. I think that everything is identity politics, but to me, if the statement is crime in the inner city is the biggest problem in the black community, I would disagree with that. Most blacks don't live in the inner city. I think when you start talking pro-black and pro-white or pro-group, any racial group, that's a textbook definition of identity politics. So, yep, I'll go with identity politics. That's probably closer to the truth than blacks are destroying American culture.
Okay. Be brave. Do you have a rebuttal to that?
Yeah, it's I haven't even really looked up what the hell identity politics would mean in a definition of a modern definition. What blacks are doing in the inner cities is they're making it so whites don't want to live around blacks. That's not identity. That's people saying I don't want to live around people that's going to bring about pretty quick decay wherever they move to. That's just being whites taking advantage of what they've had. Whites have had a very easy life. Whites have had a very comfy life here. So have blacks. We've all lived like gods. We all have. So I don't think it's identity politics as much as there's too many blacks. Again, let me reiterate, there's too many blacks that are apologizing and making excuses for these people that have no concern about any other black people. Basically, they're behaving as psychopaths. And we're not calling it that. We call them criminals or youth or something of that nature. But it's
Now this is one thing that I kind of disagree with Be Brave on about the whole living like gods thing. Does he not know that there are several people in America that straight up don't have plumbing? There are also several people in America that don't have it's not just housing, but it's the fact that they don't have electricity, they don't have plumbing, they don't have any type of
You
vehicle
have
other
to
than
be
maybe a motorbike.
careful. Now, I think he does, but there was a day when no one had electricity or plumbing. Uh, I think my point about the identity politics, uh, you can, I mean, you go back 150 years ago, no one had electricity or plumbing, or very few people did.
True.
Um, Be Brave is just wrong in his argument. You know, it's I've said this before. It is hard to argue and win a point with someone who actually is intelligent and is well read or knows stuff. Um, it's impossible to argue with someone who's stupid because even if you make a point, they're going to ignore the point and insist that they're right. And that's Be Brave right now. He says black people are destroying America. I'm saying identity politics is destroying America. The group think, like, if you think that 3% of black people in the inner city are causing crime, you can't, that's not even debatable. I don't know about the 3%, but let's just give him that argument. Yeah, inner city crime is a problem. The his Where he goes wrong is he thinks that all black people, every black person, and let's even cut the Africans out, like the legacy black Americans, people with deep American roots, black people with deep American roots, he thinks that I should be worried about what goes on in the ghetto and or all black people. It's a group think. White people don't want to live around black people because of what is happening in the inner city. Okay, well, are you going to tell me that my white neighbors wouldn't want to live around me because of what's happening in the ghetto? I've literally never lived in the ghetto. So why would they not want to live around me because some black people in the ghetto are high crime?
I can see at least his argument would be that since you yourself are black, you have a high possibility of bringing black trash into your area by
And
association.
that would be unsound.
True.
Why, if I've never lived there, why would he think that? But the thing is you know what? He would have to know me to know where I've lived and all that. If you're going by the
EAE
if
called
you're
it.
going by the color of my skin, well, he's black. The folks who are causing the crime in the inner city are black. Therefore, there is a correlation. That
Yeah.
is what I mean by identity politics. Color of my skin, next door neighbor, never
Uh-huh.
lived in the inner city,
True.
color of those folks causing the crime. Therefore, I don't want to live around you. Pure identity politics.
It is
I
also
argue, I argue that
yeah.
identity politics, in that case, you could call it racist behavior or racist opinions. That's what's destroying America. And fool does not understand how to think through these sorts of, well, that's critical thinking. Okay, you can break it down into parts, you can ask why, but I didn't have time in 3 minutes to basically, it's identity politics. And like he said, he has no clue what identity politics is. And I didn't have time to teach him.
True, true, true. All right, I'm gonna do a shout out right quick. Everybody, like and subscribe for all the new people that are here, and hit the Cash App if you would like. It's Tootsie Roll Tech. All proceeds for this stream will be split between me and Stanley Cross. The money that
No,
we use
keep
will be
it,
going for.
sir.
No,
You know
no,
what?
no. I
Let's do.
appreciate you for coming up here. If you put your Cash App in
Well,
the back
my
chat, I
name
will
was
pay for you.
my name was in the chat. Why wouldn't that come up? If
Because
you could,
Stanley, I appreciate my guest. I have a very small platform right now, so anyone who's willing to
oh,
contribute, I
dude,
will
you
split.
know what?
Plus,
Anytime
it's a
if it's
special
an
stream
interesting
anyway.
topic, look, you're the host. I will follow your lead.
Perfect. As I said earlier, any proceeds that I get for this stream will be split between me and Stanley. Any, excuse me, and make sure that you share this with your friends. I really am on the sharing angle when it comes to my channel right now, due to the simple fact that I only have about 53 subscribers, probably
Dude,
54
you've
maybe
only
coming
been
up.
what? You've been online for about a week. I look. I started my channel in January and I got 100. So you are more hip and all that stuff. If there's anything I can do, or I won't commit the other folks on the John Galt team, but if there's anything I can do, you got it.
I appreciate it, Stanley. The only thing I ask is any panel, any other like form of YouTube, because I know YouTube, when it comes to open panels, has like multiple sectors. If you can spread this out to as many sectors as you
Oh,
can,
absolutely, I will.
that's all I need right now. That's all I need. Let us get it on.
You will have what I can do for you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to try to. The only thing that I have a problem with right now is consistency, because too many things. I was going to have two other streams before this, but family stuff came up and my power went out.
Look,
So
the bottom line is you will do fine. You're a
I
personable
appreciate it,
young
man.
man.
I
Now,
appreciate it.
see, now I sound like grandpa.
Yeah.
It's psychopathic behavior because of, first of all, what they do to their own people that they live around, which isn't horrible other than to dominate them and dare them to do something like tell them to turn their music down. and then they spread out into areas in the city, which is they're spreading out. With Section 8, they're becoming what I call a cancer now. So I don't think of it as identity politics. I think of it as surely, and it's inescapable that there's one group of people that are really causing a lot of headaches for all the other groups together, and all the other groups combined are causing the headaches that this one group is causing.
Stanley, would you like to rebuttal that? Hold on, let me unmute you real quick. Go ahead.
If whites don't want to live around blacks, that's a textbook definition of identity politics. I don't know how to do much more of a rebuttal than that.
Okay.
Right quick, let me add. It's just a matter of self-preservation. I don't consider it politics. Go ahead.
Okay. What do you think about that, Stanley?
I think if the statement that I heard, whites don't want to live around blacks, assuming all blacks live in the inner city, to me. But when you say white, when you say black, those are racial identities. That is a textbook definition of identity politics. Identity politics is probably closer to the truth as far as ruling American culture. And this is something that the left and the right talk about.
Stanley, I'm gonna tell you this now. You sound way different sped up. You sound way different sped up.
What, less Southern?
No, it's not less Southern. It's more like you sound like a different person.
Yeah, well, I'm not the biggest fan of my voice, but it works. Well, wait. Now you've got me interested. Better or worse?
Better in a way. It's mainly due to the fact that whenever you talk for like a long period of time or say like long statements, you sound better faster.
Right. Well, I'm not going to talk faster. So, and oh, by the way, I was purely sober. I have a bad habit of, maybe I'm just not that smart. I have to think before I speak, especially in a situation like that. I need to choose my words carefully, and I might not be the
Honestly,
brightest bulb on the Christmas tree.
I mean, that's what all smart people do. Do they not think before they speak? Do not all smart
Yeah,
people?
that's my point. Some people can do it faster than me. So, I'm not like super smart. My style of speaking is the way it is, and I'm not going to speed it up.
You don't gotta.
But you've taught me a lesson.
Okay,
It's racism.
I need to speed my shit up.
Honestly, I think it's a trait that all older people have because my grandparents also talk very slowly. Honestly, a lot of
well, yeah, but I think I've always been like this. Now I think I have slowed down, but it is what it is. If you need to speed it up, but it's more important what I say, not so much how I say it, because I honestly don't think the identity politics. I think that should have been the slam dunk. Okay, if racist behaviors are literally identity politics. And it's a fancier way of saying you're judging all people by their group or their skin color, whatever makes them a group. That's what Be Brave does. And it surprises me that Black people in this space, even the anti-Black blacks, don't understand what Be Brave is doing. Okay, if you really think that all Black people should be judged by the inner city, you literally think all Black people come from the inner city or they should be there or they're responsible. And I fail to understand how I can be responsible or feel guilty. Be Brave literally says, well, Black people should address what's going on in the inner city and why. Not all Black people are from there. I had a friend, and I think it'll come up later. I've literally had Black folks from the inner city tell me, well, Stanley, maybe you shouldn't talk on it because you really don't know what you're talking about. So if a Black person is telling another Black person you have no clue, who who the hell is Be Brave to make these sorts of judgments? He doesn't, he thinks he is white excellence. And he has contributed nothing. If we want to put it in Be Brave's terms, he's contributed nothing to the elite whites that he loves to talk about. They don't know who the hell he is. He's not their spokesman. Why is he even talking about people he's never met, doesn't know, isn't as educated as? He just sits there and talks about shit he doesn't know. And no one ever calls him out on that.
All right. Stanley, question. Do you want to address some questions from EAE?
Uh,
He has a
is
couple.
he? I can if you read them because I can't see him from here.
All right.
However, EAE, it would be so nice if you come up and ask him yourself.
He will never do that, sir. I've tried to get EAE up here multiple
Oh,
times.
I know he won't. And I'm building an argument like, how dare you ask me questions you can't ask yourself? But I'm kidding, EAE. I know.
Ah. All right. EAE wants to know, Stanley, why do you go up for Garion and never Lolo?
There, Lolo, dude, I'm cantankerous. Lolo has a vibe that is so just laid back, and I'm not a laid back person. Um, I I'm not against it. But uh, okay, if that's what you think I ought to do, that's what I ought to do. But Lola's a sweet girl. I'm an old cantankerous man. You know, I like stirring up trouble. Do we really want to ruin Lolo's vibe?
To be fair, yeah, we do have a decent
Oh
amount of
no,
people
no,
over there that
no.
we have a decent
I
amount
am
of
not
people over there that already do it. So adding
I am
you up
not going to
there.
be one of them.
Oh, okay.
As a matter of
Okay.
fact, now see what y'all don't want is I get pissed off at an Imperious and I just like Lolo, step behind me. Let me take these motherfuckers on because I will
Im-
do that.
Imperius isn't there anymore.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean. Imperious like. I have no reason for not going up to Lolo other than I it's Lolo's shows. And I know I say hi, and she and Ruby are so nice. There is no reason maybe I shouldn't be so shy because for the longest time I wouldn't go up on T's show. So
Well, she thought
it's
Lolo personally thinks that you specifically and also Virgo, but Virgo has already admitted that she doesn't like her, but she thinks you don't
no,
like her.
you know what? Uh, when's her next show? I will go up there. I will hang out. I have nothing against her. She's young,
We yeah.
but I mean, I have something against all young people. No,
True.
there is no reason. I will make an effort. I will be there. Her next show.
Okay, okay.
I I like Lola just fine. She's a sweet girl.
All right, all right, all right. So let us play the rest of this.
More than it is identity politics. Whites are racist due to the self-preservation. You can call it identity politics because whites aren't worried about a lot of other groups that move around them. So, I think it has now become a mild form of racism. I call it culturalism because I think that's what most whites are doing. They're being culturalists rather than.
All right, Stanley, I'm going to ask you that. I want to ask Brave this, but he's never going to pop up here. Um, what is the difference between racism and culturalism? Like, what is
The
the practical difference?
culturalism, quite frankly, be brave is it's a cap to use the young people's term. He's a racist, and I see it through his face. I see. Um, the culture, the black culture, is assigned to a race. White culture is assigned to a race. Apparently, he's not. You know, he. You'll see where I'm going with this towards the end. Um, if you are assigning a specific culture to a specific race in America, that is racism. That is racist. I mean, I don't split my verbs. I don't say acts. It's the same thing as saying Stanley talks white because there's an expectation I will speak a certain way.
Yes.
His point about culture is the same thing. He expects black people to act a certain way. It's
So you
racism.
so you think Be Brave? So you believe that Be
No,
Brave
no, no, no.
expects you to act
I
ghetto?
don't think I know. Okay, it's not a guess.
Gotcha, 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 gotcha. Okay. All right. Let me
He
play
can
this.
he
Caribbean
can make
culture
it
and so
sound all fancy. If you Google culturalist, the word's already taken, and I've told him that.
liberalism rather than racism. And it's fully understandable why it's not about all the blacks living in the inner cities. It's about people just have to worry about who comes along with the blacks that can actually move for the inner city, what relatives come along with them.
Stanley.
I would like to say I called it. I said it earlier. His entire argument is just you potentially bringing in, or any black person, high-ranking black person, potentially bringing in the lower class just because they're related. I called it. That's all I like to
Well,
say.
the thing is there he has a kernel of truth.
That is true.
And if you ever talk about, let's say, a football player, you know,
Yep.
all these people will be calling and, oh, you got money now, can you help me out? Here's the thing Be Brave does not understand. And this is someone who is so ignorant of American culture. There've been rich black people for 50 years. Okay, now it was very rare, but the first black millionaire was early 20th century. So there have literally been rich black people, generationally rich black people. Now, there's some problems, they had to do this, that, or the other. There's
Yep.
a book, written, and I'd have to think of the name, but it's a dude who's dead now, but he was a lawyer, black lawyer, grew up, uh, like, that, there's Belle Isle, Michigan. Um, even um, there have been rich black people who would summer. They literally have summered for 150 years. Isle, Michigan, even Cape Cod and Martha's Vineyard. There's a black colony that's been there, and I call it a colony. But black people have been, maybe not the same thing as the super rich white people, but black people have been in these. They've had enclaves for a century. In that see, this is why Be Brave's arguments are so narrow. Okay, he doesn't know this sort of stuff. He doesn't know that not there. There's a Jefferson's episode 30 years way before you were born, where Wheezy says, I think it's Wheezy saying to George, well, you're not a millionaire. Well, George's response is, but I'm a thousandaire. Okay, you don't have to be a billionaire to live on Cape Cod or, some fancy place. You do have to be a millionaire or fairly wealthy. But these are things Be Brave doesn't know. And I will posit these are things a lot of black people in this space don't know. This is why I'm so sure of myself. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. These are things that Be Brave and others who admire Be Brave, he says books, you don't have to read books. I'm saying if you want to actually know shit, You actually do have to read books.
Okay,
Now
okay.
he's saying that if you read a book, you run the risk of not having original thoughts. Um, I think reading books and having a wide net of knowledge means you might have original thoughts other than something that you know he's limited to black and white. It's what he thinks about. Fuck, I think about fly fishing because I read about it. Dude, I'm interested. I've been fishing most of my life. I know how to do more than one style of like bait, put a worm on a hook and toss it in a lake. I fish. You got to know more than bait a hook. You got to know how to do stuff.
True.
Be brave. Be brave knows a lot about a little. And there are people, not myself, who know a lot about a lot. And you
Gotcha.
you can't know a lot about a lot sitting on your ass talking about 3% or making up numbers about black people. So I've been rambling for oh so long, but Be Brave is limited, and he doesn't he
It's
is
three
an
percent.
he is a big fish in a small pond, and more power to him. But it's a small pond that he's swimming around in.
Gotcha.
Of a group that's committing most of the crime are being identified with all blacks. When you say whites don't want to live around blacks because of 3% of blacks in the inner city,
Mhm.
that is identifying 3% of a population with the rest of the population,
Mhm.
and the other race does not want to live around that population because of the 3%. That is textbook identity politics.
I'll go with that. I think of it as textbook culturalism. Culturalism. You can call it identity politics. We can disagree.
Well, let me make this statement. You would have to have read the textbook to know what the textbook says.
Be damn.
There we go. There we go. There's Stanley. That's the Stanley I know.
Yeah,
All right.
he's coming out. He's waking up.
Okay. I think we've exhausted that question. So again, to the audience, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and if you want to help sponsor this great debate, sorry about that, between Stanley Cross and Be Brave and Think, hit the Cash App, Portia J, scrolling at the bottom. All proceeds will be split right down the middle to both of these gentlemen. Next question.
Similar to this stream, if you want to support the react to this great debate, I want you to hit the Cash App, everybody. Tootsie Roll Tech. It's pinned at the bottom, not scrolling. All proceeds will be split between me and my good old co-host, Stanley Cross. Let's get cracking.
Has systematic racism had a lasting impact on black communities in America?
Let's go. This is the one. This is one of the questions I really wanted you and see what you and Be Brave differ. I didn't think this was actually going to get asked, but
Be Brave, it's on you.
You got the question up?
Well, just give me 1 second. It'll pop up in 1 second. There's like a little bit of delay, so the question will be brought up in 1 second. I'll say it one more time.
Okay.
Has systematic racism had a lasting impact on black communities in America?
Yes, of course. There's no way around that. So you got to get into the degree or the manner of is it what problem did it create? What other things has it done? As far as what it has done is it's kept black people in unity. It's a shame because black people that are together and they want to be a unit. Again, as I said earlier, they're not prioritizing correctly. But systematic racism has done what the damage that systematic racism has done is probably stopped when the civil rights hit. That's when the blacks were okay. Whitey's off your back. Whitey's done. The systematic racism that existed after that was certainly existing. I've always been one to never deny white privilege, but right now, systematic racism, what it has done, it should be dwindling, and the fear of it should be dwindling among blacks. It's a matter of the blacks are still like say white Americans in the USA live better than anybody in the world. White Americans in the USA live better than anybody in the world because we do. Black Americans are right behind them. It's not this big gap. No. Nice try, black folks. You're right behind whites as far as enjoying the wonders of this nation and this culture. You're right behind us. So the systematic racism probably has a lasting effect more than memory, rather than anything that should be reacted to.
Is there any aspect of that that you agree with, Stanley, or disagree with, Stanley?
Just go ahead and let it play. I have a decent rebuttal.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. Memory is okay. I understand it. People are.
I'm just good. Okay, I just thought about this. Was there a poll hosted after or during this debate? Any type of poll?
Yeah, actually, and last I saw, it was 50-50. People thought Be Brave won this, or did as well, which is concerning, but it is what it is.
So you're telling me there's a pretty even split amongst this debate,
Yeah.
depending on who quote unquote won?
Well, no, you'd have to talk to Portia. I think she did the poll, but the way I took it, the way it read is, who do you think will win this debate? And that was up throughout the debate, and it wound up being 50-50. So I just assumed that, people thought, who would win, and it ended up the way they thought. And, I can't 50-50, have to take it for what it is. There are people who think Be Brave made points. And I didn't vote for I didn't vote yes for Be Brave. But people, you can't change people's minds. And the funny thing about at least my audience on the Stanley Cross channel, most people are over 35. Actually, all of them are 35 to like 60. There are no young people, literally zero young people. So, I'm basically talking to people who are roughly in that age range. And you're either able to learn or you're not. And
Gotcha.
I literally think Be Brave made no good points.
Really?
Oh
Nothing.
no, literally pretty much none.
All right. What up?
Other than the point about systemic racism being real. Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll touch something that I agree with, but no, it's Be Brave. He has his audience, and like I said, it was a civil debate. It should always be civil. There were rules. We just do not agree.
All right.
And
What up,
so we go.
Orthodox?
Hey, what's up? I just got home.
What's up, Orthodox?
Hey, Stan.
I'm gonna turn-
I think I personally, since you're talking about it, I think y'all both made great points on different matters.
I'm listening. I'll be right back, but I'm listening. I got earbuds.
Especially like Stanley's point about the stabbing. I really like the point he made on that, and that's we do before we form an opinion, we do need to wait until the information comes out.
Oh, did y'all go over the Anthony, whatever his name, Carmelo, or whatever his name was?
They briefly discussed it, and I can't remember everything Stanley said, but I remember typing in the chat, like, because I was late 2 hours to the debate, and I haven't even gone over it.
Well, that's
from
fine
the-
because I didn't watch it specifically just to restream it here.
Ah,
All right. Well, whatever gets said later on, I was expecting a couple more people to show up, but since you guys are here, I do appreciate it.
People are crutching on it. They're now using it for a crutch, and that is destroying the black community.
Oh yeah, by the way, I did speed it up to 1.5 because apparently this is going on way slower than I anticipated. So if you want me to
Well,
slow it down,
I'm a slow talker, and there weren't fireworks. So.
It's fine. To be fair, I expected a lot more
Let
bull.
me shout out HB one more time. He basically said, "This is how it's going to be," and I listened to HB. It was his show. It was his and Portia's show. I can do civil debate. I just, I can.
A lot of people were going against you. I'm sorry. A lot of people were going against
And
you.
you know what? They should always bet against me.
so I can
Oh,
surprise them. Dude, I'm 60. I know, I know how to be civil.
Go ahead.
Okay, question to you. Same question, Stanley. Has systematic racism had a lasting impact on Black communities in America?
The answer is yes. All I have to say is look up the wealth and income gaps that are historical. For a while at the end of the 60s and the early 70s, those gaps started closing slightly. Around the mid 70s into the 80s, they started widening again. Uh, the next thing is whitey off your back basically means that, the discrimination laws, the segregation, all that stuff got reversed legally. But whitey off your back isn't a solution. The problem is the quote hangover. After 350 years, let's not even talk about slavery. Let's talk about Jim Crow. Post Reconstruction to 1964, that probably did more damage to wealth and income gaps, education gaps, et cetera, than slavery ever did. If you recall, right after Reconstruction, there was about 10 years where blacks were doing fairly well, into Congress, politics, all that stuff, and then it got shut down in 1876, 1877. Then Jim Crow started. Then the real segregation started. You don't erase 150 years of oppression in 61 years. Now, how am I doing on time? Because I'm afraid I'm going to go over.
You have a minute and 30 seconds left, Stanley.
Okay. So like I said, and the idea that whites are doing great and blacks are just behind them. I'm going to remind Be Brave that actually Asians, smaller group, of course, but they're doing way better than white people as far as income and wealth. So, I guess blacks, if I recall, it's Asians, whites, Hispanics, blacks. All that to say that I think comparing, a black population to the rest of the African diaspora, that's just rhetoric. We want to compare Americans to Americans, not Americans to Tanzanians, or black Americans to Tanzanians. I think that's just the wrong framing. That's pretty much it. You're comparing apples to oranges. And basically, again, it's identity politics. If you're black in America, you're doing better than blacks in Africa. Identity politics, it's the wrong framing.
Be Brave, would you like to respond to that?
Yes. First of all, 150 years of oppression has been erased with 60 years of magnificent opportunities and the godlike living standard that we have in this country. That 150 years of oppression was washed away due to the magnificence of all of the living standard of everybody in this nation. For people in this country living as well as we do, is it compared to the.
what up, Napstar? You got anything to say?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. First of all, shout out to Mr. Cross for the lovely
Hey,
content
thank you.
for this morning. I was in the chat. It was really entertaining.
Yeah, I saw you.
It reminded me of I've been in institutional schooling and all this for a long period of my life, and it just reminded me of these discussion topics in school, and there'd be a specific topic we're talking about, going back and forth. So it reminded me back in my college days. It was really, that critical thinking, identity politics, and I think that was a really good way of. I mean, I read it right off the bat what you were talking about, oh, yep, I know where this is going, and then just someone who's totally out of left field, not, some of the terminologies and stuff, So it's really entertaining for me, but I'm gonna wait till the end because I do have some questions. But yeah,
Nah, you can ask them now. It's all good. We got all day, at least for me, anyway.
No, I'm good. You know what?
yeah.
I'm sipping on some beer. I'm gonna make dinner at some point, and I want to reiterate, I do not like doing this sort of stuff because, um, I'm kind of a natural introvert, and yeah, it's tiring. Um, and it's tiring in a weird way, but go ahead and ask your question, or we can wait. It's up to you. I do. I just think there's so many things that I just wish people would just read more American history. Um,
It would save time if nothing else.
Okay.
Right. Like just opening a book, reading a few chapters, things that even it doesn't even have to be like super,
Well,
like
no, it's read it. Now, I used to tell my son, just read, read
yeah,
what you're interested in and all that sort of stuff. Now, I'm going to assume that I'm interested in history. And honestly, I didn't really, my mother was a history buff. So I always had, I knew who Du Bois was, I knew who
yep,
Booker T. Washington was. I didn't really start getting into I've always been into politics literally since I was in high school. But for some reason in my 30s, I had a bunch of time to read and I just started reading, following up on what I was interested in maybe as a teenager. And, the funny thing about America is it's not as good as a Be Brave thinks it is, but it's also not as
right,
bad. There is, if you can ever have some sort of historical perspective on the United States of America, it is the best country in the world. It's the most interesting country in the world, but it's not all that. Okay, it is
right.
not utopia, but it's better than everyone else. And there's a middle ground there that people like Be Brave don't seem to be able to fathom.
Right.
You're not gonna have someone who admits to being, oh, I coasted all my life, tell me about excellence. I'm not interested in, oh, America's so good, a guy like me could do well. I'm not fucking interested in that.
Yeah, as
I'm
a
literally interested in even Elon Musk, or all the Trump, all these people that I fuss about and disagree with. The one thing you cannot say is they coasted. Okay, so I do not want to hear about America's so great. Even a bottom feeder like Be Brave can afford electricity. That's not greatness. I don't.
There,
That's not a story I'm going to teach my son. You know, be a bottom feeder, you'll be okay. That seems to be Brave's narrative.
All right. Orthodox, are you there?
here, what's up?
I want to ask you a question. How much do you agree with Be Brave when it comes to the concept of every American living like gods in this country?
Oh, we have had it out. In fact, me and Be Brave are actually doing a debate on Truism's show.
When? Tomorrow? Today?
No, it's next Thursday.
Ah, okay. What are you debating about?
Uh, he wants to do it about the race thing, but I'm gonna talk to Truism about just Be Braveism in general, because the poverty thing, Be Brave's thing about poverty, like it is. I will concede one point. It is relative. No, you don't have people living in third world conditions, but why should we be proud
I
of?
would debate that we do,
Okay,
honestly.
that's ridiculous. We
I
don't
would
live in the third world.
I would debate we
That's
do
what I'm
have
that's what
people
I'm
in third
saying.
world
I agree.
conditions though. That's what I would debate because we have actual proof. Have you heard of the Las Vegas tunnel the Las Vegas mole rats?
No, I actually, yes, I have the people that elude the homeless people that live in the tunnels under
Yeah,
Vegas.
the literal hundreds of homeless people who live underneath inside of a giant sewer drain. There have been several reports, specifically last year, about water getting redirected through those pipes and people drowning to death.
Well, he'll obfuscate that point. He'll find
Yeah,
some
that's
way to weasel around
yeah.
it.
I was going to say there's literally a town's worth of people living in a sewer. Like there's you don't get more third world than that.
I just want to. I think that it's. I like Brave. I like Stanley. I just think it's time that somebody somewhere get the Be Braveism. America's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I think somebody just needs to shut that down. Like America, you would.
When have I said or even intimated
Well,
that
I'm not.
America's
No, not
I'm
you,
not
Stanley.
talking
It's
about you, Stanley. I'm
okay? My
talking
bad,
about
my bad,
Brave.
my bad.
Because like
But it
I think
is pretty good. It is, don't I think you get my point, Orthodox. So I'm not gonna fuss.
I'll be back. Y'all can talk about yourself. I gotta take care of
it,
something right quick.
it's better than most other places, and most people, if given the choice, would choose America over anywhere else. And I think Be Brave is the logical extreme to that mentality.
Well, I mean, I think Be Brave is like totally grateful. And I kind of get his point. I mean, where else in the world could you be a bottom feeder and not, live in a place that's heated and has electricity? There is a method to his madness. There is a point he's trying to make. But what he needs to understand is that is a be brave thing. Black people don't have to be like be brave. Um, most people don't have to be like be brave. And what be brave wants to extol, the greatness of white culture, a culture that he is not the best example of. Be brave. There is no one who will hear be brave uh, and go, "Oh shit, he is, the Elon Musk of bottom feeders." that's a that's a
What?
that's a ridiculous fucking point. How about just be? You need to be as grateful as black people are that you're a bottom feeder and you can be on the internet. Why is he telling me that I need to be grateful or I should be responsible for, that's like me telling him you need to go and deal with these, teenage white school shooters, or you're responsible for, the suicide rate among white males. It's ridiculous. And the only reason he gets away with it is because I would love for him to talk to Jason Kessler about this, love for him to talk to his fellow white nationalists, because he'll never call himself that, but that's what he is. Be brave, nice guy. I love him to death, but his views on Black America, race in general, and what excellence is, it's not something that should be a curriculum in a school. And he needs to understand that.
Okay.
Understand that. I can understand why you feel that way.
Well, you don't think I'm right?
I don't think you're wrong. I'm, I'm gonna be real.
Look, be brave is not white excellence, and for him to talk about it, he is as far from white excellence as I am.
Well,
That's what he does not seem to understand. Dude, if this were back in, like, I don't know, 1798, or I don't know, 1820, they'd want to enslave his ass.
well, the thing that I don't like is he wants to say if you're a bottom feeder, and he doesn't. I don't want to say what he believes, because Brave is an anomaly wrapped in an enigma, right?
I think be brave is actually most people of his class.
Really?
Yes.
I would agree. I would agree.
Go back and talk. Look at a Wilmington, North Carolina,
Yep.
1896. Be brave is an anachronism. That would be the word I would use. He has been told, or he has convinced himself, that, hey, you may be a bottom feeder, but your skin ain't black. That's some currency.
Right.
This is a
Honestly, I think
strain. This is a strain especially Southern American history, the South. Oh, that's a thing. And Be Brave is literally plug and play in that sort of dipshit bullshit.
In
Uh,
my
the
opinion, oh, you
global
go.
the global corporate elite that he seems to worship, and he thinks he is the global corporate elite whisperer. They would enslave him as quick as anyone else, and he doesn't seem to understand that.
I personally think Be Brave is the blackest white man I've ever met.
I don't really care about all that stuff. I just think Be Brave is not white excellence.
That is true. By the way, if you're
And
watching
and by the
Brave,
way, I was literally
put my name in the
I
title.
have I have literally been in a national stage. I've literally met smart white people, smart black people, smart Hispanic people, just smart people. Be brave. He's not Be brave is not the form of excellence that I'm a bottom feeder and I can afford chicken. is not is not something to be admired.
Hmm. All right, I'm gonna say this one more time. Let me see if I can get this out. Brave, if you're watching, put my name in the title. That motherfucker's everywhere. It wouldn't
Well,
be
motherfucker,
surprising if he
hey,
made it here.
that's funny because you know what? Be Brave has more viewers than my poor old show, my poor old channel.
Yeah, but
And
Be Brave loves stalking in the bushes. He's dang near everywhere. Wouldn't surprise me if he somehow made it over here.
well, next time we do something like this, we ought to
I want him to. If he is up here,
simulcast
I
it.
want him to come up here. I know he won't, but I want him to.
Yeah, what you want is fireworks.
Yeah, I do. I wanted chaos. I was expecting.
Yeah,
I was
fireworks.
expecting. I was expecting a lot of fuck shit to
Do
happen,
y'all
but
really love that sort of stuff?
I mean, I
It's
do. Today, also speaking of, if this was a little too boring for the rest of the audience, I actually had another video pulled up
oh,
of Jay Prince going off on Kendra G about Stank Box. So that's also in the back.
yeah, that's a comparison. Stank box in America.
Did Stanley, were you there when Jay? It was the CT's live a couple of days ago when he pulled out 2 drumsticks.
No,
Oh
no.
man,
You
I'm
know
telling you,
what?
bro, you're never gonna find that clip, man.
ah,
Well, here's the deal. CT and I, I love CT. As a matter of fact, I would have never met John Galt had I not been on CTs. Most of the people that I know, Be Brave,
yeah,
Imperious, yeah, I met them through CT. And first time I was on CT's show, I got my ass handed to me by his panel. But the one thing CT said to me, he first time we ever met, he said, "Hey, you know what, Stanley? For a liberal, you're pretty cool."
Uh,
So,
I do remember.
I have, off and on past 2 years, um, I CT and I, as much as CT fucking just trashes me, at least on Be Brave show, but it's politics. I think we would probably have a beer just like me and Be Brave would have a beer. It's politics. It's we just disagree, but if we start talking fishing, we're going to be best buddies. And I
Mhm.
think that's also a sign of maturity. You know what? I disagree vehemently with Be Brave, but we agree on the nature of property. There are things we actually like, we'll make jokes about. So, you know, so we go.
That is true. There's a couple things I do agree with Big Brave on as well. One of the things I agree with him on is, I mean, I disagree with him on is he thinks healthcare should be universal, like across the planet universal. And I was like, that is physically impossible. That is physically impossible. That is physically
He's not
impossible.
wrong.
You
Now
agree with him, Stanley?
the world health, that's problematic. But You know,
I don't like. I can understand America, like in
but I
in
mean,
the
health
country of
is
America.
property. Be Brave is, he has some good ideas, just not on race and what America is. And it is scary, but there are not many Be Brave, so we'll be okay.
Yeah, not many people. Yeah, definitely. There's not many people. Is anyway. We're gonna play this out. I don't think we might not get through it through this whole stream. I'm just gonna let you
Oh,
know.
that's fine. I was there.
Hmm.
I don't have to see the whole thing.
I'm saying for the viewers. We might do a part 2. But I also do want to advertise this one right quick. I finished body cam bingo. There will be a chance to win a cash prize of $10 at a minimum. But if I get cash apps over throughout the stream, it will be added to the prize pool. So if we're gonna be having that sometime either Monday or Tuesday. I gotta figure that out.
The rest of the world, even Europe. Okay, go past Europe, now go into the third world countries. For anybody to think that the 150 years of oppression were not completely done away with the magnificent living standard is ridiculous. And Asians, the reason Asians are not doing better than whites, they're doing better than whites in income, they're doing better than whites in education. What they're not doing is they're not upholding the white culture that has been the 100-year magnificence on the planet in the history of the species. That's why I say whites are at the very top, because we are the group of people that are the absolute most productive people on the planet. We probably have the highest collective IQ of anybody on the planet, including Asians. So it's not a matter of income or education. When I speak of white magnificence, it's a matter of where we live. Everybody wants to come where we're at, including Asians. Nobody wants to go to where Asians live. Of course, people want to try it out and mess with it. But when it comes to like bringing a family, everybody in the world wants to come where this white man established this country here. That's why.
Because the white people keep giving out a bunch of free shit. Asians don't do that. That's why.
I'm enjoying the lie.
Are at the top.
Yeah, I know. I know you are. Nestor, you got a little bit of free back.
We're at the top, and I'm telling you, Asians are. You're right. Education and finances. I don't count that. I count the ease of living and the comfort of getting up every day and living your life. Whites are first. Blacks are right behind them. That erased all the 150 years of oppression. The 60 years of magnificence, if blacks still thinking of 150 years of oppression while they're living like gods, I would hate to be a black man that has to meet his maker with that silly self-pity.
Stanley?
Well, what Brave is calling self-pity, I will call facts. Okay, you go and you read your own white authors, people like Charles Murray. He will be the first to admit that if we're going to go strictly by IQ scores, whites are not at the tippy top. And to be honest, just to kind of go off script and be all non-scholastic about it, white people have gotten lazy because of the magnificence you talk about, and I won't bring up examples, though I have one in mind. So all I have to say again, that identity politics, whites at the tippy top, the magnificence of 60 years. I'm just gonna go ahead and chuckle lightly and suggest that you read Charles Murray. He's white. He disagrees with you.
Okay, Charles Murray said nothing about collective IQ. I said collective IQ.
Charles Murray wrote The Bell Curve, which is specifically about IQ. I would like you to read that and maybe write him and criticize him. He literally wrote a book on group and collective IQ.
I stand corrected. He wrote a correct collective IQ in that book, or just individual IQ?
Nope. He basically, one of the problems I have with The Bell Curve is he groups people by race. Asian, Hispanic, Black. He literally groups people by race. That race is a collective.
No.
Okay, sir, I'm not going to even debate it. Well, read The Bell Curve. He literally.
Do I get my time?
People. Yeah, he literally classifies by race.
That's as contentious as it got.
So Be Brave occasionally interrupting you was the worst it got.
Well, no, I think I interrupted him before, but that's as contentious as it got.
Okay.
Well, he thought I did because he complained to HB, but it was civil. That's the fireworks. It didn't get worse than that.
Okay. Shout out to San Jose. Thanks for stopping by. We're reviewing the
San Jose.
quote unquote. Yeah, we're reviewing the quote unquote fuck shit going on. Not really much of it. It will come later though if this doesn't pop off the way I wanted.
What did you think we were gonna do?
I expected straight up back and forth arguments. That's what I said. I said this twice. I'm talking about arguments. This was probably the calmest. This is probably one of the calmest streams with you and Be Brave on at the same time that I've seen, by far.
Well, thank HB. But you know what? I think I got my point across. The problem is, and I hope you will listen to the rest of this. Be brave is simply wrong. You know, what you, I hope you noticed is I'm citing sources, I'm citing what I've read, I'm citing why I think this. Uh, Be Brave is pulling it out of his ass.
Yeah, that is true. Be
That,
Brave does not
that's
back
exactly it.
up what he says. He does not back up what he says with words. I mean, with sources. It would be
Oh,
nice if
motherfucker!
he.
And you know what?
Be nice if he
I
did. Be nice if he did.
Well, he can't. Okay, this is why Be Brave doesn't read books because it might disprove his theory. And I'm absolutely sure about the bell curve. There's a guy on YouTube who is actually relatively famous that I locked horns with.
What's his
And,
name?
God damn it, it's a Hispanic name. He was he was, I would have to look it up.
Is he a
And I
wait? Is he a
will.
white? Is he a whitish
He's
Hispanic or?
Hispanic. He's Hispanic, actually. A Harvard graduate. Richard Herrnstein was a co-author of The Bell Curve with Charles Murray. The guy I'm talking about literally was like a researcher, grad student, whatever, for Richard Herrnstein. I know The Bell Curve. Okay, I'm not whistling Dixie. I've read it twice. I've debated the bell curve with like a grad student of one of the authors. Okay, y'all think I'm fucking chopped liver? I'm not. Okay, I seriously think sometimes that y'all think I'm just whistling Dixie, to use that term again.
Nobody
Um,
thinks you're chopped liver, Stanley.
you know what? Maybe I think I'm chopped liver.
I guess all the
All I'm
people who
saying,
do aren't.
all
All the
I'm
people who do
saying
aren't here.
All I'm saying is that when Be Brave says that the bell curve is about individual IQ, uh, Charles Murray does say you can't judge individuals by these group measurements. That is the only, and you know what? If I ever got to sit down with Charles Murray once again, because the motherfucker's smart. I just don't agree with the way he wants to racialize IQ.
There was
I
a interview with
Glenn Lowry, dude. I've seen a ton. I've seen Glenn Lowry interview Charles Murray. I know who Charles Murray is, and Glenn Lowry. Back in the '90s, Glenn Lowry had a huge problem with the bell curve. Glenn Lowry has kind of gotten better with it because Charles Murray's a great guy. However, I think Glenn Lowry either said this about Charles Murray or he said it to Charles Murray. Glenn Lowry is the definition of pro black. Glenn Lowry has literally said there's nothing wrong with black people. Okay, look, IQ is so subjective. When Charles Murray, and he's an old man now, he's retired from AEI, but when someone can like pinpoint what makes you smart, what gives you high general intelligence, therefore a high IQ, I will believe it, but it won't be before I die. The only thing that I agree with is intelligence is heritable. I have a smart son. His mother was smart. The fools like Be Brave who want to depend on white people just having a high IQ, therefore he has an IQ. If you ever parse it with just a little bit of critical thinking, Be Brave does not come out well on that sort of analysis. And unfortunately, he's not listening to me. Dude just has no clue what he's talking about. Seriously.
Okay.
I'm literally talking about the seminal text for the white supremacists like him. He should know this shit. If he's going to talk about IQ, he should know Charles Murray. And motherfucker, I'm telling him what his Charles Murray, his peer. Oh, Charles Murray wasn't talking about, he was talking about individual IQ. Fuck, he was. Read the goddamn book, and then he will tell you, well, I didn't read the book, but this is what I think the book said. So dumb. But 50, it's a 50-50 debate. I read the book, he did not, and he's going to quote or think about IQ as a group. And I brought up Charles Murray for a reason, just to see if he had read it. And then please, Garion, let's see how this ends up.
All right. Just to address EAE right quick. EAE. Turns out Solid Snake is not stupid. The reason I know this is because one time on panel, I tested him with a couple of math problems and a riddle. He solved them very quickly. I forgot exactly when I did this because I know it was sometime last December. But if I could find that clip of where I tested him, I will pull it up.
Well, all I have to say
Solid's
is
just drunk a lot of the time. It's mainly
that
he's drunk.
is if your measure of smart is asking Solid Snake a couple questions, math questions on a panel, if he proves high intelligence to you, then that's to you. I'm going to argue that intelligence can be a flash in the pan. Sustainability is actual intelligence, and intelligence is in everything. So I'm glad he impressed you on a panel with your math problems. I'm not sure I've ever called Solid Snake stupid,
A
but
lot. Other people have.
I'm surprised I haven't.
Other people have. A lot of people have. Turns out he's drunk
Oh,
most of the time.
you don't. Hey, you know what? Is it stupid to be drunk all the time and come
A
up
little
to
bit, yeah.
panel?
Yeah.
Okay, well then, motherfucker, he's stupid then. Math problems aren't going to sober him up. Math problems are not going to correct bad decisions that he's made in his life, and he'd be the first person to admit he's made some bad decisions. Y'all need to do better, okay? Don't come up and tell me he solved a couple math problems that you pulled from a magazine. That's not proof of intelligence. It's not proof of meritocracy. Stop this kindergarten level IQ test.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Race, IQ by race, not individual.
Okay, Stanley.
I'm sorry if I went overboard there. Let me mute.
No. Go ahead, Brave. You can respond.
I do declare that book. I haven't read it. Everything I've heard about it is
Dang, Stanley.
I haven't read it. He could have just stopped there.
individuals within the group. He's correct. When I'm speaking of collective IQ, and that's a thing, I'm talking about a culture that has come together with an agreement and a behavior that manifests itself in something that shows that this group is probably doing things way better than any other group on the planet. The collective IQ is what I am speaking of. I don't think Charles Murray, I'll have to look it up and I will, Stanley, but I think he was talking about groups and then he was going down to individuals within the group because he was talking about the group as a whole but the individual.
Yeah, he was definitely
like
digging himself his own grave with this.
Yeah. Bebrave just needs to shut up. He does not need to say all this extra stuff.
Yeah, he so bad. It was so cringe hearing him say this, and then
Now I admit, I ain't read the book. That's fine. You didn't have to say that. Okay, I'll do more research. That's all you had to say. Okay, I'll do more research.
Exactly.
I hope he's watching this because if he is, well, mainly if he is, because Stanley's up here. I want to see his reaction to it, and I hope he puts my name in the thumbnail. Wholeheartedly puts my name in the thumbnail. If he does, I'll debate whether or not I want to react to it. I probably won't. It'll be boring anyway. It'll just be him yelling.
But what I'm talking about, and it is a real thing, The collective IQ is where the whites stand supreme on this planet. You can tell as white people, our intelligence throughout we own the northern hemisphere of the planet. That's not because we're stupid. That's not because the Asians are smarter than us. We did something very correctly, and that is an indication of a real concrete, not a division or not an individual IQ that's assigned to a group. I'm saying the collective IQ, that whole group as they act, is the collective, and our IQ, I'm saying, is superior on the planet, and it's obvious by where we live.
Okay. I think we've exhausted that question. Stanley, did you have any requests?
I don't know that I want to debate someone who hasn't read the book. I have. What he says in the book, he does most of the book talking about group general intelligence. G is what IQ measures. He does say that, hey, you cannot judge individuals necessarily. There will be individuals who are way smarter than the group, the collective IQ. The book is about collective IQ. It is essentially, something that I don't necessarily agree with, but I recommend you read the book. It may educate you a little bit on how IQ and general intelligence works.
Okay.
So that's it for me.
Okay. Well, we did kind of move away from the question, but you guys answered it. And just so you know, you guys are doing very great here. Again, to the chat, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here. If you want to help sponsor this great debate, hit the Cash App below, Portia J. The next question, also about race. Should the U.S. government provide reparations for the historical injustices of slavery and Jim Crow laws? Be brave. It's on you.
No, the black Americans actually owe the white culture reparations, considering how we've taken care of them like children since the civil rights movement and since they got whitey off their back. We still take care of them like children. I know they're successful black people. I get it. The black group, the 40 million black Americans in this country are housed, fed as our poor white trash, housed, fed, air conditioning, food, Section 8, everything. And if you add up the crime costs, the cost of the cities to clean up after black crime, and you add up the problems black cause wherever they're, like when you just go anywhere they're at, and you'll see black people raising hell in businesses. Just the whole thing that the blacks have done. The black race in America has had so much money spent upon it to treat it with kid gloves. There's no way that we owe them money as far as a payment. And if anybody owes.
Okay, I kind of disagree with Brave on this one, because does he think that money just goes out into the ether? Like it doesn't go back in the hands of anyone at all? Because there are plenty of a lot of these programs and a lot of these programs that support black youth and a lot of these repair companies, they use elements of black crime in order to make money back. Like a lot of these programs are just psyops. It's money laundering on the highest degree. They get the crime. They go to areas and they start up all these little businesses and all these little programs and stuff. I'm just going to call them programs for now, in certain and high crime areas, so that they can make money back through donations. And then they take that extra business into the hood and then use it for gentrifying later on, and they make that money back via the stock market. Like, I can understand where he says, "Oh, we owe you reparations," but then you find out where the money actually goes, and it goes back to all these businesses that white people own, or quote unquote white people own. So I don't understand that part. Any of y'all got anything to say after what I said?
Well, let the video play.
All right.
Should get reparations. It would be the third world because of what the corporate machine has went in and done in the third world. That's where reparations should happen. The black Americans that live like gods, that are already having white people clean up after them like children, they want reparations. To me, is amazing.
Okay. Stanley, same question to you. Should the U.S. government provide reparations for the historical injustice
I also don't believe the third world should get reparations either.
of slavery and Jim Crow laws?
The answer is yes. But the reality is, black people shouldn't hold their breath. I think that there are some individual cases, Bruce's Beach, I've talked about in California. Reparations happen. I think it's something that it's so complicated, and a lot of the history has just been buried or ignored. Yes, I think they're won't happen. Black people should not, but we should move smartly towards whatever the future holds. And one other thing I want to add, I hear a lot of people in these, particular spaces like ours. They're tired of hearing about slavery. Well, no one actually talks about Jim Crow. I've heard the argument made, and reluctantly I agree with it, that slavery was legal. Whether we like it or not, whether it was moral or not. You can make the argument that, hey, everybody had it. Thomas Sowell makes that kind of argument. I think the better argument and the focus should be more on Jim Crow. As I said earlier, that's where the real damage was done. after slavery was over, voting rights were eventually suppressed legally. Education, segregation academies, just all kinds of things that would hold, except for like that 10%, the elites within the black community, they were, pretty much not that harmed. It's, what would be the middle class and the working class? That's where the real damage was done. And then coming, once the laws have been changed and, civil rights has kind of gotten close to achieving its goal, you're basically starting from zero or starting from scratch. 61 years, in my opinion, was not enough. And affirmative action and programs like that were positive actions to fix problems. The monkey's off your back or the white man's off your back, just kind of let it flow. You'll be okay. Yeah, that's in 100 or 200 years, sure, we'll be okay. So in short, yes to reparations. The caveat is don't hold your breath.
Okay, let me ask you too, Stanley. Do you think Brave said that black people actually owe whites reparations? What do you think about that?
I think that's ridiculous.
Brave, do you have a rebuttal to that?
Add up the money that's being spent on blacks by the taxpayers. Add it up. Even if they don't owe you, that's a second interruption, right?
Hold on a second, Stanley. Hold on. Let him reply, Stanley.
Oh, that was the
firework.
That's it. You only interrupted. I don't know where the first interruption happened because it seemed like you both interrupted each other.
Just saw it. There were really no fireworks, to be honest.
Yeah, this is kind of bold.
If that were a regular panel, but it's HB's debate, so gotta not piss HB off.
I'm assuming Orthodox. If you're there, I'm assuming Bumpkin wasn't able to host this debate due to, I don't know, scheduling.
I do not know why Bumpkin didn't host it. I'm assuming it had to do with because Bree Brave said that he wanted a black guy to host it.
What?
Yeah.
What difference would that have made?
Dude, I do not know.
Equality.
Does he think Stanley would? Does he think Stanley would go off on the white guy if the white guy was hosting?
I genuinely don't know. I think him and HB were talking a little bit of ish about.
Have you ever heard me go off on HB?
No.
Actually, yes.
Well,
yes. Actually, yes, I have.
I think HB is the second coming of John Galt. Have you heard me go off on John Galt?
Yes.
Okay. See, I'm not into identity politics. I'm into stupidity politics. If you make a stupid point, I'm going to fucking tell you it's stupid, and then I will explain why it's stupid.
See, this is my reasoning right here. This is my reasoning right here. It does not matter who's hosting it. If Stanley does not like them, he will go off on them regardless if you know them or not.
No, see, y'all get it so wrong.
I see what Stanley's going through.
No, it is.
All right.
If you make, excuse me, dude, be stupid, and I will tell you you're stupid. That's really how I work. I have never suffered fools gladly. If you get up on a debate and you start talking about stuff that it's obvious you don't know. And the only reason I didn't go off on Be Brave, because I've done it before, Be Brave is not making points. We haven't done it on Stanley versus the world. He's made these points before. The only difference is I promised to act like an adult and not call him, call him out on it. And I need to be a little bit more adult, because what I'm hearing, and I saw EAE's point, I didn't win the argument because blacks are at the bottom of, what did he say? Blacks are, let's see, because in reality, we blacks are at the bottom at the end of the day. EAE, you fucking sound like Be Brave. We blats, motherfucker, if you're at the bottom, I'm not. We blats are not at the bottom. Stop. The one thing I do know is that if you take that bottom feeder, like we blats are at the bottom, you will stay at the bottom.
Okay,
So
okay.
if I lost an argument because a whole group of people with my heritage are at the bottom, then you don't get my argument and you actually don't understand America. Okay, it is not my responsibility to, if I lost, do he needs to reread that. I lost an argument because my people are at the bottom. What the fuck is he talking about?
I want
Someone
to address
explain it.
HB. All right. I want to address HB's point right quick. Brave didn't want the perceived advantage of having a white host. There is, okay. That doesn't make any
Okay,
sense, but
I did you hear him say that? All I heard is,
That's what I was gonna say. That's kind of all he said on it. Is he
yeah, it
wanted.
was kind of in the wind.
that makes no sense. What perceived advantage? What advantage would you get for
Okay,
having a
well
white
then
host?
I'm not going to treat this like Brave said it until it's confirmed.
Oh no,
Whatever.
he did say that on his panel.
Oh,
That's
he
fine.
did. Okay, my
Yeah,
bad.
no,
My
no,
bad.
because I was gonna say he because I really
Come on
don't
up, HB.
I really don't understand it, but he did say that it sounded like I don't want to
Look,
say
let
they,
me
but it
let
sounded
me
like there was some shit
explain.
talk because
Let me explain. Be brave to you. He actually thinks he's smart. He thinks he is playing chess. He thinks he's smart and he believes his own bullshit. And I can tell you right now, if Be Brave came up and watched this, he would still think he won, just like EAE. You know, the proof is that there are black people. My argument, most black people don't live in the hood. Most black people are working class and above. But motherfuckers like Be Brave, they facts wash off their very scaly white backs like, rain off a duck's back. Facts don't matter if you're white. That's pretty much what Be Brave has said. Fuck the facts. I'm white and you're not.
That's why he
Facts.
wanted to answer first. My
Well,
bad, Stan.
that's why EAE thinks he won.
what
All
what he
right.
said what he said what Be Brave's words were from what I
Oh,
remember.
motherfucker, I know what his words were. I'm
I was just like
paraphrasing.
what I'm saying.
I'm
What
not
his
quoting. I'm not quoting. I'm interpreting. I'm the Be Brave whisperer.
what he said was he said that he wanted they if he won he wanted to be able to say he won without any group advantage or anything. He wanted to be able to say he didn't want you to be able to say oh it was white supremacy or some BS like that.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't. You know what? Whatever. I'm not even gonna think about it.
You know,
That makes no
Brave.
fucking sense. What up, Stanley?
Uh, Orthodox. You know, Brave as well, probably as well as I do. You know, he thinks he won, right?
I mean, yeah.
He. So you confirm. Be Brave will go on his show tomorrow or Monday and say how he kicked my ass.
I don't know. We have to see how the show goes.
Yeah, it'd be fun. If anything,
Well,
he might.
I
Heck,
think
he might
I
even make a
think
review to this.
you know what? I hope he does. But Be Brave thinks he won.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute, Stanley. HB, please come up here and explain it to me because I don't see it. I don't
I
see how
can't even
any
see what he's saying.
advantage. Oh, he says it says that honestly, he thinks that Be Brave. It makes sense for Be Brave to have a white host and to speak first because he thinks he'll get some sort of advantage. Even though I don't understand what advantage he would specifically get, other than
Well, what Bray specifically said is if he wins, he doesn't want Stanley to be able to say he got.
EAE. Okay, we'll stop. EAE. You need to fucking cite that source, I've got numbers that disprove yours.
According to Chat GPT, 46%. Whatever.
Motherfucking, I go to Pew polls, go to blackdemographics.com. Yeah, I have numbers that will challenge your numbers. So what you need to do, EAE, don't challenge me because I will make you be brave,
Oh
be
God,
brave black
should I set
for
up a
real.
another
Nope,
debate?
what you need to do is give EAE a better opportunity to do better research.
Oh,
I don't fucking talk about this shit if I don't know it. Whether you want to prove it or not. Be Brave fucking sat up there and told me how many books he hasn't read.
oh,
and,
okay.
and you know what? Y'all didn't notice it maybe. Uh, Be Brave told me the books he hasn't read, but yet he still thinks he's right. That is white supremacy.
Okay, HB. I see your point. I see your point. I just want the yeah. I see your point now.
I had Be Brave tell me the books he hasn't read, but he still thinks he's right. How is that not white supremacy? He should have just said, "Hey, N word, I don't care how many books you've read. I'm white, therefore I know better."
Yeah, fuck this. EAE, please come up here and just talk to Stanley yourself. I'm not having this. I'm not having this goofy
No,
little debate with
I'm
one
gonna
in chat and one
fucking
on panel.
EAE.
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
having this.
mock you. I'm gonna mock you till I get bored. You are the digital Be Brave.
I do want him to come up on panel and just say all this stuff directly, but I know he won't. I know he won't.
Oh, that's fine. I can mock.
Any goofy shit happens. No. All right, let's play this.
So can we play?
Blacks have lived so well
God.
Yeah.
that, and we've spent so much money on them that even if they don't owe whites reparations, we don't owe them anything. It's not even we. It's a matter of the corporate controlled government did what it did. White people went along with it. All right. Now let's say this right quick. So, but the whole thing with Jim Crow, there were poor whites all over the place during Jim Crow. It was just segregation that probably served a very good purpose for the day. And after the segregation was over, right now, blacks in this country are living like gods, just as whites are. I don't know where blacks think that people owe them money when in reality, and I would say that we owed them money if let's say they weren't causing the problems they were causing, but yet having a hard time due to remaining systemic racism, which there is no remaining systemic racism. So
Great.
that,
Go ahead.
we run out of time.
No. I was just going to ask you, do you think some of those issues are caused by not having the reparations being paid?
No, life is too easy. If you want to look at poverty that causes problems, go to a third world country. That's where poverty is at. There's no poverty in America. We got water.
That is bullshit. I disagree with that. I disagree with that on Brave's point anyway.
I know there are tent cities. I get it, folks, of drug addicts and stupid people that didn't buy.
It's not just tent cities, but there's also people living in sewers. I discussed that earlier.
Houses properly.
See, Be
But the
Brave,
blacks
and I
that are
will
causing
say this. As somebody who likes both people who did the debate, right? And I really
Yeah.
don't like choosing a side, but as somebody who talks to Be Brave almost every day, I will say the way that he tries to debate, he tries his damnedest to not obfuscate, but get it where it's one-sided. And you have to agree with him because like he tries to mold the debate or mold the argument into his way of seeing things, and like tries to give you like it's not that he's being dishonest. It's the way he words things. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Orthodox.
Okay,
I know
well
what you're
then,
talking about.
how about hear my response?
Oh no, don't hear
Because
your response.
I,
We'll hear your
I
response, Stanley.
understand. I understand. Y'all fret. Um, I could have put it better. I could have just said, "Be brave, you're full of shit," but I tried to be all academical.
It's not just that, Stanley, but whenever Be Brave gives an answer to something, he specifically frames it, at least with the words he uses, into a way to where you can only answer a specific manner.
You know,
Otherwise,
the
you will
only
say you're
thing
wrong.
that I heard that made sense from Be Brave today, I haven't read that book. That's, he said it 3 or 4 times. That's actually all I heard. Now, I know, the young people will actually kind of listen to the words between I haven't read the books. Be Brave doesn't know shit.
It's
Um,
not even it's not even just
I
read books, Stanley.
literally, no, 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 no. I'm gonna have to be all old manish now. Be Brave has not done the work. Okay, what he is telling us is that I'm a bottom feeder. I've been lucky all my life. I have had people who don't know shit laugh at my jokes. And then when I come up against someone who's actually done some stuff, read some stuff, I want to shit on them too. At the end, at the very end, you'll get what I'm saying now. But there's a response I have to this.
All right, but if Be Brave is watching, I would like him to interview someone who actually lives in the tent forcibly, not due to their
What
own
I'd
accord.
like Be Brave to do is read a goddamn book.
You know that won't happen, Stanley.
Well, then, you know what? Then, uh, thank God it was a civil debate. And if y'all motherfuckers aren't unimpressed with Be Brave, uh, the words, y'all are impressed with his tone of words. And in all honesty, John and others are impressed with style over substance. And you know what? I'm not losing money necessarily. Y'all be worshiping the Be Braves. I raised a son that um, knows the Be Braves. So y'all have fun.
Okay. But on the John thing, I have seen, like, I follow John on Twitter, and I have seen him specifically try, at least attempt to recruit multiple people who think just like Be Brave on Twitter. It's kind of kind of weird, but it's expected. Just maybe just wants to get more people. I mean, he got Jason Kessler, so that's one guy.
But to be fair, the for some
The
reason,
anti-blacks need friends. Uh, I have
What?
literally just as recently as last night. John is anti-black.
well,
Period.
the racialist right is always looking for a black guy that will say black man bad. That's just what they're looking for.
Really?
Yes,
I
like
mean,
so.
it doesn't surprise me.
Any black man, and here's the thing: you can be in almost
Okay, let me
you can.
put it to you this way: the what I made a statement the other night that was a total hot take, and Garen, stop blocking my mic.
No, it's because
Uh,
your
I
chair
think.
keeps making a squeaking noise, and it's loud as crap.
Oh, yeah, this technology. I literally said that the anti-black blacks are more dangerous than the Be Braves. John Galt is the bigger problem in the black community, if we want to call it that, than Be Brave. Anti-black racism, the black anti-blacks, the Thomas Sowell crowd, in 2025, they're way more dangerous than Be Brave. And the reason is we know Be Brave is a clown. People take John Galt seriously. And I will say that to John Galt, probably have already. It's the anti black blacks that are um, the problem in the black community.
All right, Orthodox, what's up?
Here's the thing, right? Because just like conservatives that have the based black man fetish, I think that racialist right wingers have the fetish for black guys that will be like, "Oh, black people bad." it's kind of disgusting on both ends for you to talk shit on your people. I don't understand it myself, but you can they're looking for somebody between a caricature like Uncle Ruckus or Thomas Sowell. They want
There is
somebody
no Thomas Sowell is Uncle Ruckus, except Uncle Ruckus has a sense of humor.
fair, fair.
Oh
That is true.
motherfucker, I see y'all still think I don't know this shit.
Shit, my orange.
Thomas Sowell is literally
Mm.
humorless. And
That's why
the reason, actually, I think the better comparison is Uncle Ruckus to John Galt.
fair, yeah,
Whoa, am I wrong?
fair, yeah, fair.
You know, Uncle Ruckus will make you laugh, just like John Galt. And this, y'all need to know, this isn't something I wouldn't say to John Galt. I hope I've proven that. I think that anti-black bullshit is destructive, and I don't even think there is a black community to the extent that we need to be responsible for what's going on in neighborhoods we don't live in or moved away from or weren't born in. I'm pretty much over that bullshit, that brother's keeper. You know, if you're black, you need to go and give back to a community you never lived in. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's bullshit. No one. I don't think anyone does that unless you're like a small
Oh no, no,
marginal.
no. If you ever listen to John and you ever listen to Be Brave, that's literally what they're saying.
You think
And
John
see,
believes in giving back
maybe,
to the community?
oh no, motherfucker, John Galt thinks all black people are the same. Dude, have you ever heard them talk about marrying outside your race? And that's every motherfucker, and I will not name names or man or woman. There are people who will question your blackness on a John Galt panel because you married a white woman or an Asian. Those motherfuckers, they're obtuse. They are literally as racist as a dumb fuck like Be Brave. And they're dumb fucks.
It reminds me of that one time. I forgot who said it, but
Oh,
someone
no, no,
said,
no. I need you to understand what I'm saying.
"I know
And
what you're saying."
also need you to understand John HB motherfuckers, bring it on. I think John is a racist.
All right, all right.
I think HB is a racist. Truism, I just got an alert from that fucking idiot. They're all, when I say anti-black, I don't mean, I mean racist.
Mm.
Problem
So
are housed.
you
They got running water. They flush their stool. They got heat, AC, and they've got job opportunities that rain on them. All they got to
I
do.
only agree with the jobs. Job opportunities are everywhere in America. Let me on. Oh shit! Look who's here. Look who's fucking here. Look who is here. Links in the chat, Imperious.
Do is a black person, and I'll always say this to any black man: clean up like whites do. You'll get a job anywhere you want it, because whites want one thing: they want black representation in their business. Even if they're racist, they want black representation in their business, because many times they are going after contracts that deal with tax dollars. So no, there's no way that you can blame the behavior, the condition of blacks in America right now is nothing but purely self-inflicted by black people themselves.
All right. Stanley, you have a reply to that?
There's a book called Here to Equality by an economics professor at Duke. Yes, Duke. Pretty sure he's at Duke, either Duke or UNC, University of North Carolina, that pretty much lays out the reparations case. Just to be clear, reparations as they're framed now are not, money to fix a wealth gap or anything like that. They're basically framing it as a legal case. There was harm done. There's documented harm done. Bruce's speech is a good example of that. This stuff is documented. If it's framed as a legal matter, that basically should clear up why reparations should be done. But in the case of Bruce's Beach, there was generational wealth lost. Okay, basically, who knows how many millions of dollars were lost down through the generations before the property was restored. You can document these cases. I think people probably want to overcomplicate it, and but again, we're not going to hold our breath.
No,
so that's pretty much it.
Now, this does kind of go to the next question.
Can I wrap up right quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Brad.
Give me 30 seconds.
Yep.
Ask blacks that think we should get reparations if they want to live anywhere else in the world. That tells the tale. There's no place like America. Blacks are in on it. Go ahead.
Stanley, do you want to reply to that?
I have no clue what he's getting at. What does it have? What does reparations for past, injustices have to do with where you live, other than they happened in America, and we live in a system where people sue the government all the time for damage done. That's my response.
I had my say.
Okay.
Blacks live like gods. They don't need money. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, this does go to my next question, and to the chat. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe. If you want to help sponsor this episode, this debate, please hit the Cash App below, scrolling at the bottom. What are the long-term effects of redlining on racial wealth disparities today? Brave, it's on you.
The long-term effects are that there are no real intense long-term effects. The blacks that, again, for the last 60 years, the blacks have had a situation where they said, I'm black, you better treat me right. And I don't mind that. I'm not against that. After Jim Crow, if I was a black man, I'm saying I'm black. You better treat me right. So the redlining that occurred was also done for a lot of poor people. There was the government organization that started making loans after the war. It's HOLC or something like that. There were more black mortgage holders in that private company's business than any other private loan mortgage company. FHA is where it came in. FHA, the Federal Housing Administration, started the redlining, took the redlining and kind of kept it alive. And the reason that happened a lot was because the FHA was into building new homes, which protecting the investment of homes, they moved whitey into them. So does redline have a lasting effect? No. There's too many poor white people that didn't get in on anything either. Immigrants coming over, immigrants from third world countries. They're all fabulously doing very well. And all of a sudden, the poor little blacks just can't get it together because of redlining. It's silly to think that the past, so many decades ago, has any lasting effect right now on these young people that basically have everything laid out before them and are turning their backs on it and turning into and relying more on their anger for their thinking than their preconceiving of what they need to do in the business world.
Okay. Stanley, same question. What are the long-term effects of redlining on racial wealth disparities today?
Well, mainly wealth. I mean, the home being, a lot of people's biggest asset or investment, not being able to take out mortgages. I mean, mortgages were basically, withheld on houses.
By the way, I forgot to Stanley. I forgot to tell you this right quick. If you were to leave the panel, like let's say in an hour or so, hypothetically, I will get off of this stream specifically and go to the original clip that I had that I wanted to review.
I have no idea what that means.
It's fine.
Do you want me to leave?
No. I said if you do.
What was the original clip you wanted to review?
It was a clip that happened about 2 years ago. I think Jay Prince? Jay Prince clip that I was telling you about earlier.
Oh, this is y'all young folk stuff. Dude, if this is boring you, I'm good.
No, it's fine. I want to get this reviewed out because I want more people to show up and give more commentary on it. But ain't nobody showing up.
Imperious, dude, the bottom line is I'm not Mr. Brainiac. I'm just like average dude who read a book in high school.
I'm just telling you, this debate is way more boring than I thought it would be. But I'm still gonna watch it though.
Well, I found it much more substantive.
Really?
Wait, you know the basic differences between me and Be Brave, right?
Most definitely, yes.
Okay, and the thing I want to say, and I'm gonna beat this dead horse,
can't be on long
is motherfucker, I've read a book.
I'm on
better hold on 1 second, Paris. It's
Yeah.
good to see you actually.
Hey,
but
brother.
let me say this, dude. Don't be if Be Brave wants to talk about white IQ and white people tend to build greatness in history. He is not upholding his whiteness. The
Again,
motherfucker isn't even a good racist.
no, he's just an old man that just sits on the porch and just kind
Well,
of yells
dude,
things.
I'm an old man.
No, but not like that. There's
Dude,
a difference
hey,
between an old, like
Imperious,
he's
I
an
haven't
old.
talked to you in a while. I turned 60 last month, and
Yeah,
bottom
he's
line is,
75 or something, isn't he, or something
nah,
older? Like,
he's 70.
yeah, yeah. Stanley, the difference. It's not that. It's the age isn't the thing. Dershowitz is 90 something. He's still a genius.
Nah, I don't know about genius.
I mean, he's smarter than I am, probably still.
But
Um,
motherfucker, you actually see, this is why I appreciate you. You know how to step through a problem. Okay, you know how to critically think from the beginning to the end. You chop this stuff up
What up, brown
into
man?
small problems. Be brave is, dude, someone needs to tell him that, back in like 1814, they were thinking about enslaving his ass. And by the way, his family roots don't go back as far as mine. But this motherfucker wants to talk about white superiority. And it
he's not
just
the one to
doesn't,
talk. You'd have to be superior to talk about superiority. You'd have to be
it would help.
you'd have to have the access to it. Like I could understand if he was like
Well, not
a
even that
very
access. Dude, look, poor people can be super smart. The dude doesn't have, you know, a bottom feeder telling me that he just was happy go lucky and wound up in a good place. It's not inspiring to a black
yeah,
man.
that he doesn't understand that was how it was for everybody from his time. He was in the greatest influx of wealth into one nation. Dude, America was producing 60 to 70% of the world's goods for about 20
And
something years.
again, not my argument. You're
No,
skipped to
I'm
your
just saying
little
I'm throwing one out. What I'm throwing out there is this. Like I can't stay on long. I'm not trying to throw any. You did fine with it. I'm just saying you may say, oh,
yeah, I didn't
you're not,
kill though.
yeah, you're not, no, but you may say, oh, you're not intelligent. But Brave argues from a perception that doesn't, he can't grasp
No,
that,
be brave argues from perception. That's
that,
it.
but
He
from
does
a
not do
perception of
anything.
a time that no longer exists. Stanley, you may be
Well,
older,
worse
but
than
you
Like all
that.
understand.
boomers.
Oh,
No, but
come on,
Stanley at least
Imperious. You're
understands
being
because you're,
nice.
but
You're
Stanley,
being
you
nice.
have a kid in college, so you're forced to understand times change.
Motherfucker, I have a kid in an elite college.
But that's what I'm saying. So you're forced to change to understand that the world isn't the way Brave thinks it is because Brave is stuck there.
It never was.
For him, it probably was, but that's because he was isolated. That's
Dude,
because he
you
was
know where
isolated.
my son's going to school,
Yeah,
right?
Georgia
And
Tech.
motherfucker,
Yeah.
I just, it's not
What up,
Harvard,
bumpkin?
but it is an
What
engineering
up?
school.
No,
And
dude, to get in there, you have to be pretty intelligent.
oh,
All I'm
motherfucker,
saying,
I didn't help him. He did it himself. And now here is why, and you will understand this, Imperious. Motherfucker didn't do it was his first choice. He did the winter.
oh,
You know how
he did the prior quarter to start. Okay, I understand. Yeah,
well, no, what he did is like, this is my first choice. You need to tell me if you accept me or I'll go somewhere else.
that's what I'm saying. He
Motherfucker
applied
got
before
in.
other people did because he said, if
Yeah,
you accept me,
home
I
run.
will go there
They
for sure.
picked him.
Yeah,
They did not tell him to wait till you get into a
yeah,
bigger
he did.
pool.
He did early entrance. Yeah,
Oh yeah, well, early interest. You understand it. Most people don't.
yeah, yeah. If you have
And
that's what I
I
did for
was
law
so
school when I
proud
went
of
to
him.
USC. That's why I didn't get I only got like a one, what was it, like a 168 on my LSAT. But because I
Mhm.
applied really early, because it's like I think what they want is like a 170 or above at USC. But
Is that how they
um,
do it? I thought he was just
yeah,
like
you can do
better
early
than the
entrance.
other
Yeah,
students.
no, there's all no you. I mean, there's all kinds of no. Yeah, no. I mean, because it's
He
a
did
grad school.
not.
If you
He did not do the race thing.
no, I'm not saying that. You
No,
can
he
actually
had the motherfucking grades and the SATs,
no
and I
you can
motherfucking trained. No, I want you to acknowledge this. This weird, over talkative old motherfucker. The motherfucker didn't make a 1500, but he got goddamn close. 4 point X after he was competing with the Asians, and these
Yeah,
motherfuckers in these spaces don't understand how to raise kids.
yeah.
I didn't raise my kids to do that second best white bullshit. You better be better than the whites. You better be like an Asian. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. It's a
No,
joke.
but I understand. No, but you compete to the best. No, well, that's the thing.
No, motherfucker, just
I
be
got a
the best.
1470. I didn't get a 15 or a
Oh,
1600.
motherfucker, my son did not get your SAT score,
No, but
but
that's because I got really high on the linguistic side.
it was probably about a
I got like a
1450.
760 on the language side. That's why. And I got like I didn't get that high.
My son did a math thing.
That's what I'm saying. Usually you're on one side or the other. Very rare do you get
Right.
like both sides that are. That's when you have the people that get that perfect score because it's like you have both sides. You have that equivalency, which is great.
You know what?
Anyways, I just don't.
It
Anyway,
does
I gotta
not
hop off, Stanley.
matter.
Before I go, I just wanted to say good stream. I'll try to hop on back later. But Stanley, the debate wasn't a debate because you know how to debate, you know how to argue, you know how to you know how to convince people.
Motherfucker, I've never been on a debate team in my
No,
life.
but what I'm saying is you know how to convince people with arguments. He just sits there and yells like an old angry man at people like they're young kids on bikes rolling down the street. It's a different way. He doesn't know how to talk to people. So anyways, have a good
Imperious,
stream, guys. I'll try to be back later.
Peace
No,
out.
well,
what do you want to say, Stanley? What do you want to say? I can stay for a second. What do you want to say?
subscribe to. I actually have a channel, and you know what?
You want me to plug it, Stanley?
Subscribe to it, we can do a whole fucking dude. You and I have always gotten along. We will fundamentally disagree on a lot, but at least you know how to fucking be interesting.
Yeah. Well, you're smart. I mean, I understand because you're not like bad faith, Stanley.
Right.
You know, a lot of people like the thing is why I am the way I am to people is because people forget 99% of the internet is bad faith. People just want to go up there to yell to make their impose their will. So I just do it first. So, anyways, I'll talk to you later, guys. Be safe. Great stream. Yeah,
Salute.
put the link down there in the chat. I'll go sub to Stanley's channel. Talk to
Yeah,
you soon, guys.
Stanley.
All right.
Put your thing in the back chat.
Yeah, put it in there
Oh,
before I go.
it's at Stanley Cross 6000, all one word.
At
All right,
Stanley
Remember
Cross 6000.
Hold on,
Okay.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, put it in the YouTube chat too, so I can jump in there and I'll link
I
it.
will.
Okay. Stanley Cross 6000. All right, guys, be safe.
Peace out, Imperious.
And folks, I am getting kind of inebriated here, so I don't, I will revert back to the Stanley Cross panel mode. So don't
Stanley.
let me overtalk you.
If you ever want to, all right, Bumpkin. Since you're here, you finally get to speak.
Oh, Bumpkin! Ooh,
What's up, dude?
You got anything to say so far?
I didn't watch the debate. I don't know.
I didn't either. I neither.
I didn't watch the debate. I was currently sleeping when the debate was happening. So.
Oh, there's no problem, dude. You work hard. So.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was not working yesterday. What had happened was I was trying to win $300 on a blood sports debate, which I almost did too. Wait,
hold on. What was the channel?
The channel was called Speakeasy.
Oh, I know him already. Never mind then. You almost ran 300. Dang, I didn't even know Speakeasy put that much money on the.
Yes, 300, bro. Bro, Jesus. I'm telling you. I was streamlined straight to win that shit, right? People were saying in the chat I'm winning it, and then I fumbled it. I decided to debate in favor of euthanasia, and then it was all downhill from there.
Do you want us to review the stream, if you don't mind?
It's a long ass stream. Oh, this stream with the debate?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
We don't.
It's your
we don't have to. Yeah, I was going to say we don't have to review the whole thing. Not today anyway, because we're already doing this one. But next time. Also, speaking of, I wanted to get you specifically on this. Sometime next week, it's either going to be Monday or Tuesday, we're going to be having body cam bingo. The minimum will be $10 for whoever wins. And we are going to add any super chats or any, not super chats, any cash apps that I get will be added to the prize pool.
Okay.
It will be either Monday or Tuesday. I'll let you know ahead of time.
Those are both days I work next week.
Dang.
I have to kind of interrupt this. Go back to EA's silliness.
Which one?
The one that says, I'm assuming he's talking about my son. So what I will do is maybe EAE isn't talking about him. but I have a response to that. If he
Is
was full ninja, he'd be in an HBCU right now.
Yeah, he's definitely talking about your son. Definitely.
Okay,
I'm
well,
not
you know
laughing.
what?
It just
Whoa, motherfucker, y'all may shut up. I didn't go to. I did not go to an HBCU. I went to, at the time, an elite school, even if it was University of Georgia. Chemistry degree, son. So if he was full ninja, I'm a full ninja. I didn't go to an HBCU. EAE, I know you're black. What you need to do is you can be black and actually have a brain. And I know it's all entertainment. Son, you need to understand who you're fucking with. There has been no one who has won these sort of rhetorical arguments. Uh, John Galt hasn't won, and you're no John Galt, son. So I'll leave it at
Damn.
that.
Stanley, can I just
Total Stanley victory.
yeah, can I just state something for the entire audience, specifically to you, Stanley?
Please do.
Don't feed the trolls. That's a genuine rule. He's
Well,
trolling
you know what? You
That's
know
all
what?
he's doing.
You are absolutely right, Bumpkin, and I will heed your advice.
Yeah, don't feed the trolls. He's trying to
And
get
you know
back.
what, Bumpkin? You are so right, because I always, dude. Okay, Bumpkin. I have to heed your advice because it's good advice. But I'm always interested in what the chat has to say, and touche. I'm not going to argue with on that.
I mean, to be fair, I'm a full
I am
African and I went to
chasing,
Duke,
sir.
so I don't think college means much, regardless of.
I think college means everything if you want to learn. It's like any other learning experience. Technical school isn't going to mean shit if you don't want to go there and learn.
It's all about what you want, what direction in life you want to take.
Absolutely. I have an old man story. I did a career change after I met my wife because I was doing okay, but dude, it was just not what I wanted to do. And my wife was a course correction. Now I'm 38, just met the woman. I have never met and will probably never meet a woman like that. She was just my person, my woman. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to come home every day. I was a manager, and the thing I remember telling myself is I know how to manage me. Okay. I will be a good worker, all this stuff. So I switched careers, did IT, and I was always good at it. And it was the best thing I ever did. Um, you can't take care of a family if you're not taking care of yourself. You don't want to come home every day mad. I fucking loved my job, and in some ways, I kind of do myself a disservice. My son's off at college. What happened to my wife? It's just, you know, I'm drinking beer, swinging my chair, which is annoying. I should have never done that on this show. But Bumpkin, can you do something for me next time? If we ever do this sort of debate again, it's going to be your turn to moderate.
Okay.
No. Dude, you have never been anything that I recall kind to me. So fuck it. How about you do the second debate?
Okay.
And I am willing to do it. Be brave. You can come up with the questions. How about you do it? Let's see what you can do. And I this is good faith.
Okay. Absolutely. I'll try to set that up if you guys want to have another debate. I didn't
Now,
watch it.
I want to do the same thing. I'm not going to go so deep into. Let's be academic. Let's not, even make it that racial. I have to give. We talked about race a little bit much. I'm going to let you handle it, and I will support you. And I also go look. I'll talk to Portia. I would love for you, dude. I want to see what you can do. I had a good time on this debate. I think you're an academic guy. I've heard you talk, but I've also been I've also been on CT's panel. I want this to be actually kind of like the way you would do it. You're an academic guy.
Mhm.
So, Stanley, just to get this clear, we're gonna
We
have
would do it
if
here.
yeah, if you have another debate, it's gonna be it's gonna be non-racial, correct? At least that's what I'm assuming.
If everyone can agree, why would it be?
I just want why? Because I don't know if personally I don't know if Be Brave can debate anything other than race.
You know what? Be brave is not stupid.
I
That's
don't
the
think he's
first
stupid.
thing. You don't want to mistake him for I tease and I think he is limited, but motherfucker's not stupid.
What's
I
your
just want to hear. Oh, I'm sorry, Bunkin. What's that?
yeah? What's your idea on his idea of the corporate machine? You've heard him talk about that before.
I don't do that conspiracy theory. I personally think that I am Thomas Jefferson. I am more an enlightenment person. Now, I know it sounds weird for a black person to say this, but I actually think that the Enlightenment was one of the more racist things that, you think about John Locke being, a principal author of the South Carolina colony's royal charter. However, temperamentally, I actually do think that the Enlightenment was right. They fucked up on the race part, but I do think that I'm who is your intellectual hero, uh, Bumpkin?
I
Who's the
shouldn't say
person
that.
you go to?
Do it. Do it.
I shouldn't say
Well,
that.
wait, hold it. Did I say something wrong?
No, it's just I get a lot of flack for this. Okay.
Oh, fuck
Here.
it. Say it.
Fuck it, we ball. Should we do it? Should we go mask off
Wait,
to
wait,
the
wait, hold on,
Do it.
Bunkin. Right,
Well,
right quick. Stanley, Broken, right quick. I just got confirmation. Be Brave made a stream about me. Let's fucking go. I'm moving on up.
well, congratulations.
I'm moving on
a
up.
negative stream or a positive stream?
He hasn't made it yet. He hasn't pinned. It's about slums in the USA.
But all
That
I
is
have to
directly
say
what I
is,
said. I
Bumpkin, you
fucking
are
knew
a
he was watching.
curious person.
I lean philosophically speaking, I lean more towards like Spangle and Gentile.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
People I have not read.
I do a
Recommend
lot.
books.
I do a lot more into. Oh fuck! Let me actually find the books. Let me actually find the books so I can actually get you a good interpretation of that. Gentile.
He didn't put my name in the fucking thumbnail though. Dang. All right. My bad, Bumpkin. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. I lead a lot more economy. I'm not a big.
Okay.
I'm not a big. I'm not a big
sense.
fan of the idea of capital or of capitalism. But then again, I also completely reject communism. So I stem from like a more naturalistic form of socialism. If you see what I'm saying.
I think I do, but I may not. But you're going towards God damn it, what's his name? You're not a Keynesian, right?
No.
No.
Okay.
Fun fact: me and Bumpkin are the same person.
No,
Okay. You
I
know what? Fun fact: you have the same. You have the same voice.
Ooh, all white people sound the
That's
same.
a
Let's
joke.
go.
That's a joke.
Let go.
It's a
Let's
joke.
go. Let's go. Let's go.
Bumpkin's just a closet Strauss,
Now,
right?
here's the deal, Bumpkin. I think economists looking at culture and even politics to a certain extent from an economic point of view, um, I have always thought that was the wrong way to do it. But I'm very Jeffersonian. I don't really care, that much about money. But it is a very almost it's almost like just flagrant to not care about money, because I've never had to. It's a. I'm not a Marxist. But I'm in the middle. I'm trying to think. Have you ever heard of Poliani?
think I've heard of Poliani. I don't know much
Uh,
about it though.
Look it up because I am more like a Keynesian, maybe, but Poliani, and dude, he was less an economist, but more like a sociologist, like slash economist. I just tend to I just tend to think that markets are the tools of people, not the other way around. I'm not, Hayek, um, and Hayek is horrible.
So
People should not be led by markets.
this is true.
Poliani,
This is true. I actually genuinely do agree with that. People should not be led by markets.
it's a tool.
It
But
is.
give me, put them in the back. I will eagerly read what you're reading because I'm not that level of reading about economy because I find it boring. But I will read it.
I believe it's Prussian.
It doesn't have to be now, but you have my email address, dude. I will read your reading list. If you read, I need to know what you know so I can debate it.
Yeah. So
Y'all chuckle,
Oswald Spengler's
but this is what I love to do.
Yeah, it's Oswald Spengler's Prussianism and Socialism.
Spengler, okay.
Yeah,
I've never read it.
I really do enjoy Spengler.
Well, fucking don't be shy about it. Email me your reading list. I will do my best to familiarize. Now, I won't have, reading one book does not make you an expert, but at
I'm
least
not.
I'll
Yeah,
know where you're coming from. Because who knows? I might have read some folks that are, in that severe.
yeah. It's like building a hierarchical social because the problem my inherent problem with a lot of Marxist socialists or communists is they stem from the liberal idea that everyone starts from a
Well,
clean
okay,
slate.
I get you.
Yeah, everyone starts from a clean slate.
Marxism is an offshoot of the Enlightenment.
Yeah,
There's no way
every
it couldn't be.
almost everything is.
Every modern belief is an offshoot of the Enlightenment, except for
Absolutely,
National
it is.
Socialism.
Western, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But the idea that
Okay.
every single person, I believe individuals have innate traits that make them better at certain jobs or make them better in certain walks of life.
Well,
To be
see,
honest.
I don't go that far. I don't agree. That borders on something like a. I don't do the racial science. I don't do the IQ science. To me, that almost sounds like. You know what? I've had too many beers, so I better stop. But um, let's talk about it and let's organize a debate. I'll do it.
Okay. You want to.
Now we may have to do it on the John Galt channel, but there is nothing.
Look, you have been an enigma to me, Bumpkin.
Why?
I don't know. We've never actually had a substantive conversation.
Yeah. I think a while ago. I think we've ran into each other a few times on like CT's channel.
Yeah, on CT's channel, yeah.
But I don't count anything as CT's channel because that's just
that's fuck shit central, bro. That's fuck shit central right there.
You want to have a formal debate on
you know what? I would not know any of y'all. John impressed me on CT's channel. Portia, HB, CT, he has a purpose. So, and to be honest, as much as shit as he gives me, as much shit as I've gotten, I tend to hang out with black conservatives. Who knows why?
Okay.
Right. I am gonna have to bounce soon. But listen, I'll hit you up in email. I think that would you be willing to debate Be Brave on his corporate machine ideology? Because I think that's the only thing that Be Brave could debate without a racial connotation to it.
I would do more. We've actually talked on my show about that. And you know what? Yes, but I would be at a disadvantage. And you know what? Let him have a win.
Actually, I think there actually is another topic that you and Be Brave could talk on without a racial connotation.
Well, probably we agree on.
Yeah.
But
dating.
it's a weird, like, don't be a materialist sort of thing. He and I fucking totally agree on that.
I think y'all can go band for band when it comes to dating, the concept of it. It doesn't have to be modern day dating. It just be dating.
70-year-old dating versus 60-year-old dating. That's just a freak show. Let's not do that. That's just shrivel versus shrivel.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, y'all can talk about what type of Viagra y'all used back in the day or whatever.
You want some carnival?
I want something to review. I want something to review. I've said that multiple times.
Oh, hey, Be Brave and I do not work like that. Let's keep private. If you want a freak show, motherfucker, take some drugs and go to a rave.
I've been to one. I hate raves.
Do they still call those raves?
Yes, they still do. They still do call them. They still do call them raves. Most of the time, they just say parties.
I respect the man, even though we fucking go after each other. I respect Be Brave.
All right, Stanley. Bumpkin, if you got to bounce, thank you for popping in. I really appreciate it, man.
No problem. If you're still streaming in a few hours, I'll probably jump back up.
I don't know, to be honest with you. Wait, what'd you say, Orthodox?
I was messing with Bumpkin.
Oh, yeah. If anyone wants to hit up my Cash App, by the way, I need gambling money, and I'll do a gambling stream. Just FYI. Just FYI, everyone up in here. If you want to see me lose my money at blackjack or slots, you should hit up my Cash App.
I don't. As GAR'S Topics, we do not support gambling. I'm sorry. This is family friendly. This is family friendly.
At PAX Americana's Real Boy Hour, we encourage gambling. 90% of gamblers stop right before they're about to hit big. Always remember that.
That is
always remember that.
See, we can. Okay, I'm willing to have a debate on that with you because my granddad lost too much daggum money and property because of his stupid gambling habits. I will debate you on that, sir.
Well, was he gambling?
He's dead. Well, I can't bring him on because he's dead. But
was he playing slots?
No, I think it was cards and dice because niggas love dice for some reason.
Oh my god, dice!
I mean, I like dice.
Yeah, you're a black man and a white man.
Yeah,
we've covered this.
It was. I remember he did used to play dominoes back. I do remember playing a game of dominoes. He's the one who taught me how to play dominoes when I was a kid, but he never played to the point where he gambled. He didn't gamble with dominoes, at least from what I've seen. Okay,
Orthodox, may or may not. won money playing dominoes.
You won money, please. Fuck it. Whatever.
Not beating the Afro-American.
Whatever. You're not beating the allegations. You're not beating the allegations. Okay. We don't know what you actually look like. You sound.
Me and
You sound almost as white as I do, and you're not beating the dice allegations. Okay. And dice and dominoes.
You know the weird thing
he
is
is
you
white.
don't sound white, Gary.
Some people say, a lot of people. No, when I first got on both CTs and Johns, people thought I was like some white dude.
You live in North Carolina, and people who don't know how accents work and all that stuff, you don't sound black, but you don't sound white.
I don't sound white either. I don't know what. Honestly, I don't know what I sound.
So you know what? How about you just sound like Garion or whatever you are? Stop trying to sound like people and just
I don't need to sound.
Garion.
No, I'm not trying to sound like anybody.
Oh, I'm
see you, Bumpkin.
I'm hearing what you're saying.
All right. Brown man, you just got up here. You got anything to say, sir?
Hey man, yeah. For a second, Baron, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were Asian until I saw your face. So
what?
There's that.
What?
But I did say I did watch some of the debate with Stanley. And Be Brave. Gotta say, very interesting topics there. Did like it. Honestly, I don't really know who won.
To be fair, I don't think anybody won. If anything, they both won because they both got money, like literal cash from it. So, if anything, they both won.
That's W.
Honestly, I'm done reviewing it. Honestly, because not a lot of we can obviously. If people want, I'll probably post a poll. If you guys want to do a part 2 of us reviewing the rest of the stream, we can. But I'm kind of done right now. And there was another clip I also wanted to review that had way more goofy stuff in it. If y'all want to talk about that,
I'm down, bro.
All right, it might take me a while to get it. Hey, Napstar, since you got anything to say, if you're still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. What's up?
All right, cool. You want to review Jay Prince again? I found this really old clip that really stuck out to me, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, that's good.
I think I put it in my watch later. Hold on. Yeah, here it is. Pop this back up.
Hello?
Hey. All right. Get ready for the fuckery. It's time. This is where all the views come back. This is where all the viewers come back. Universal, if you're in I see you in chat. If you're wanting to pop up, because I actually do kind of want your opinion on this, because this is hilarious. Pop up if you can.
Hey, Kendra G.
Hey, you've been here before, honey.
Yeah, and I had some rough experiences with somebody that I met off here.
So you have an update?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what's your update, honey?
Well, one of the females, it was quite a bunch of females that was in my inbox, and they came to my channel, and we started conversing between each other and stuff like that. And we ended up meeting. I flew her out. She was from somewhere in Virginia, something like that, Southern girl. And everything was going good. She was nice, and she was nice. She was looking good, and everything was going right up until when it was time to have sexual intercourse.
Well, what happened? We're all waiting to hear what happened.
The woman smelled so bad. I couldn't even get arousal. I couldn't even get arousal if I wanted to. Like I said, man, you represent Kendra G. You represent Kendra G. This is Kendra G. This is what you give me.
Pause. Now I
Never in my life. Fuck off. Never in my fucking life will that ever happen to me, bro.
He probably said that to him. I don't believe it. I think she probably said that to him.
No, he was talking about he was talking about the girl he was planning on sleeping with. Had a coochie that stank so bad he didn't want to deal with her no more.
No, you said.
All right. Well,
so
we are going into the segment of the show that I'm uninterested in. So,
all right.
I know Universal would be interested in this. Tell them I said hello.
All right. If you're dipping out, Stanley.
I am.
All right. I salute to you, sir. I really appreciate you.
Salute to you too. I enjoyed it.
You know, how old is this clip?
Hold on. A year ago. This happened last year, apparently.
All right. Well, this is essentially Solid Snake outside of Louisiana. So that's what Kendra G does, and y'all have fun with the review.
She does. Yeah, she does do the fuckery. Salute the Stanley Cross.
Someone has to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, Orthodox guys, Napstar, salute, man. I enjoyed it.
Salute. Have a good one.
It's been an honor.
Peace out, Stanley. All right.
Have a good one.
I'm also gonna bounce. I'm gonna go play some video games with the boys.
Peace. Everything's winding down anyway. I do want to get this stream out. All right, I'll see you, Orthodox. All right, so we got plenty. We still got a decent amount of people in the audience. So I guess reviewing the fuck shit is now. Time for now.
Love all y'all, but she don't represent me. What you mean she represent me?
Well, how's she gonna come on your shit?
I'm just gonna say this right now. Kendra G's face does not match the rest of her body.
That is such a true statement.
I don't know if anyone else said this. I don't know if someone could have said it in the comment section. I'm not looking at the comments right now. So her face, she got the stacked body. She's stacked for her age. She's really stacked for her age. But she got that Oprah Winfrey face. That old like 60s talk show black lady talk show host face. It looked goofy. It looks weird.
It's kind of
she's very pretty though. I will admit she's very pretty.
Like very expressive, like every detail. Yeah, very detailed.
She's like a good replacement for Wendy Williams.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good comparison.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's kind of giving me Aunt Jemima vibes.
Aunt Jemima.
On the face alone, just the face. But like, the body's whatever, I guess. It's just like, I'll leave it to the black men that actually want that, right? But at the end of the day, Aunt Jemima is what I'm getting. Yeah.
So on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate Kendra G in this picture? There are other pictures of her too, but she looks way better. But this one's kind of, it's mainly the titties. At least in this one, it's mainly the titties.
See a 7.
Yeah. I give her a 7 out of 10, mainly for the outfit. It's mainly this outfit. She's rocking this outfit.
It's a 5 for me, but that's a.
I see you. You only like white women. I get you.
Yeah.
Universal says 7.5.
Oh, for real? Let me. 7.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Way too generous, but fair enough.
Looking for a man
out here. Brown man out here looking for white virgins. What are you, King Kong?
Come on now. Keep playing the video, motherfucker.
and or whatever the case.
No, she represents you because that's what you attracted. Now she don't represent me. She represents herself. I don't even know this girl. I don't know this girl with the funky ass vagina. I've been telling y'all to wash your ass since the beginning. So
she should have known, Kendra. That woman should have known better, right? That woman should have known, like, your first impression, especially coming from Kendra G's channel. You should have known, like, come on, like I'm not gonna put her name out there. I won't do her like that. I really want to bad. Because she should know better, but she act like she didn't know that her stuff smelled like that. And I'm sitting up there, is it me? Because when I first was like, I'm like, I know I just didn't cook nothing. Especially no damn salad.
This is so fucked.
This is insane. He ain't cooked nothing.
He didn't cook nothing.
I'm glad I found this clip, man. I know Kendra might be one of the main fuck shit panels I start to review because she's got a lot of goofy niggas just like Jay Prince up on there. Like a lot of them. She might become a regular over here when it comes to like reviewing her stuff. It's too funny. There's too many goofy niggas. Jay Prince is like pinnacle content anyway. But yeah, he's real. I will admit he's real good content. Oh goodness.
Salmon, no fish and perch, none of that. I'm like, dog, because I expected yo about women coming from over here because I look at you like a celebrity. So I thought they was gonna have this little celebrity perfume on. The coochie gonna smell like grapes, watermelon at least. And then it comes. I thought she was gonna put her best foot, because I did. All the dick cheese, all that shit was gone. That woman I came over this.
You telling me? Oh no, you're telling me beforehand this man had dick cheese on, and he was like, "Well, I'm getting a girl from Kendra G, so I gotta scrub this off, like it's some foot fungus."
Listen, your man scrubbed his dick cheese off before. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hope he did it before. I hope he did it before he went on Lowe's. I'm just gonna say that he came up there full cheese. He came up there full cheese.
Full cheesed up, nigga. Damn, what the fuck?
Oh god.
Smelling my best, looking my best. You know, I had my wicks retwisted and everything. I was looking fine. She was looking fine, though. I ain't gonna lie. But the thing is, because I could have easily told, like, okay, just let's do it in the shower. You know what I'm saying? I could have easily told her that, but just the fact that she come from over here, I thought it was like, man, is she trying to set me up? Did she really want to fuck with me like that, or what?
She come from over where?
Here.
Where?
That's where I met her at. Kendra G, you got these women out here smell like Bodie.
First of all, I ain't got to smell like shit, but let me say something to you, Jay. Let's start with you. Give me some backstory to who you are again. Now you got kids. Like, what was your situation? Where are you from, Jay?
I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
And how many kids do you have?
I have my baby mothers.
Doesn't nigga say 9.5? 9.5 kids.
That he probably knows of, yeah. Probably.
What's the half?
I don't fucking know, man.
The heck's the half?
Probably a trans, I don't know.
A trans.
Hey, it could be. Shit.
Yeah, maybe. Dang. Oh. Hey, Lionel, what's good? Come up on the panel if you got the time. Universal's supposed to be coming up here in a minute or two. Or whenever he decides to come up. I really do want him to get his opinion on this fuckery. There was another clip that I had, but I'm not going to review that tonight. Been streaming for a while now. I'll probably call it quits after this one, though. Unless y'all got something that y'all want me to look up specifically.
They gave me custody of, I already had custody of one. Now I got custody of my other two daughters, 2, 5, and 10. I've been doing that for the past year. And I've been raising
you have, Jay?
3. And
how many?
Oh, okay. It's going to say 9.5. Daggone.
Women.
2 that we know of. Then I got a few. I got one, allegedly one in Mississippi, and one in Texas, allegedly.
So do you have 3 kids?
That's 4.
With 2 possibles?
Yeah.
So you might have 5.
This nigga can't count.
Yeah, with 4 baby mamas.
Well, that's why you attract women with vagina that smell bad. That's
no, come on, Kendra G. I thought I was going to get the Kendra G special.
4 baby mamas with 3 kids and a 2 possible. You're going to get stinky ass vagina women that's going to reach out to you. Because let me give it to you real. Because the women who vagina smell good ain't hitting you up, Jay. And that's just a fact you need to learn. You coming up here like you deserve good smell.
I just know women ain't supposed to have their coochie smell like that, period.
You're right. A woman's coochie should not smell bad, but that's what the kind of woman you going to get. So tell her to wash her ass, fix her up, and make it better. Because you're not going to get the top 10 vagina with a resume like that, Jay.
I wanted to, I hate to say it, but I wanted to fight that woman. But because I was so, my hopes was up high. You know how your hopes is going to be up high?
Just like men be telling women, you need to start realizing your real reality of who you can date. Some of you men out here reaching for stars that you ain't going to get the stars. Jay, you got 3 kids with 2 possibles. You're not going to get a top tier woman like that.
Shout out to the main man. Shout out to the main man, Universal. What's going on?
Good evening, gentlemen.
I don't know. I'm assuming you've seen, since you've been in the chat, I'm assuming you've seen most of this clip, if not already seen this clip already.
I think I've seen this a while ago because this is about 2 years old or something. I did see this before.
No, this happened last year.
Right? I think I might.
Yeah, this happened last year.
That man said he took his dick cheese off. I was like, oh my god.
He had to. It's like he had to scrape the snow off his car before he going into work.
Oh my god, dude. I will say, she said like, oh, you can't have top tier pussy with a fucking resume like that. I'm like, bitch, you're not even a virgin, bro. What type of fucking top tier pussy are you
Hey,
selling? The fuck are you talking about?
Oh, Kendra G might got it going on. I'm pretty sure she's married, so
Listen,
is
man.
she? I don't know
I
too much
think.
about.
All I know
Of
is that's not natural.
No, I don't think she's married because I could have sworn I seen a clip of her talking about her being single.
Kendra G?
Recently. Yeah, yeah. Because
Can
she
you all
was
hear
on
me?
someone else's.
Yeah,
Now we
you're good
can.
now. Yeah, you're good now,
And,
sir.
and
Were you
nothing
trying to say
echoing,
something
right?
earlier? Nah. Were you trying to say something earlier? Because I didn't hear you say anything.
Yeah, because I just got this mic, so just testing it out. All right, cool. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, you sound way better than it. Brown man's in the bathroom, but that explains why he sounds so bad.
Yeah, fuck you, buddy.
What are you not?
I am. Yeah, most
All
definitely.
right, then be quiet.
Yes, master.
No, I'm kidding, Brown man. You're cool. Universal, what'd you say?
I was saying I think she's single because I feel like she was having another conversation with, like, I don't know if it was a podcast or something with another woman about how she doesn't have a man. But I could be mixing her up with another black woman too, but I'm pretty sure it was her.
Oh, okay. You got anything? Do you have any extra notes on what's going on so far?
On this particular clip or the Stanley
Yes.
Be Brave thing? Oh, okay.
No, we can. No, actually, yeah, I do want to get your opinion on the Stanley Be Brave thing.
Oh man, so did I watch the whole thing? I think I might have like 10 minutes left in it, but I got the gist of it. I felt like it was a very cordial conversation. I thought it was going to end a lot sooner, but they actually did well. HB did an amazing job moderating it. And I felt like Stanley didn't answer a lot of the questions. I felt like he was just kind of he. I felt like he didn't answer the questions directly. That's probably the best way. And to me, I felt like it was like, be brave. You say something, Stanley, you respond. And I think it should have been a little bit more of a back and forth on who initiates the first answer, so that it's not just responding to be brave. Because I felt like it was just Stanley responding to be brave.
Oh, okay. Actually, yeah, I did get that feeling. Like we reviewed some of it on here. We reviewed about like half of the debate. Eventually, I ended up getting a little tired of it because honestly, it was
kind of boring.
Yeah, it was boring. It was boring. Like flat out.
Yeah, and I think because I don't think Stanley really brought his own perspective. Like he didn't bring a perspective or anything. He literally just challenged every little thing. He just nitpicked something that Be Brave said and just stayed on that instead of
Honestly,
like,
honestly, I think it would have went. Honestly, I think even if they did alternate on who initiated the answering of the questions first, I think it would have just been like that anyway. Because Stanley and Be Brave, at least with the topics presented, Stanley and Be Brave fundamentally go butt heads on almost every aspect of it. And regardless of who starts it, I believe the entire back and forth will just be, oh, I don't like this, or oh, I disagree with that. It'll be like that the entire time. I don't think it would make much of a difference. But I do also agree that the possibility of something changing should also be presented. And I think Stanley should also, at least next time anyway, because I don't know if you heard earlier, but Bumpkin wanted to set up a secondary debate with Stanley on the topic of who runs the government and who runs the world, or as Brave calls it, the global power structure, whatever the heck he calls it.
Yeah, the corporate
machine. Yeah, the corporate machine, or whatever the heck it's called. And Stanley, I mean, at least the topics related to that, and any topic related to that was going to be the foundation of the next debate, whenever that's going to happen, if it happens. I'm pretty sure it will, though. But I think that Stanley, since Bumpkin is supposed to be the moderator, I think Stanley should be the initiator of the conversation, just to, even it out.
Sure. I will say this. I thought that overall was a success, and I think that format for Stanley is amazing. He should just do that and just challenge randoms all across YouTube. Like, he should just go on like a Stanley versus the World tour with a moderator and just start challenging people.
Actually, yeah, that's a really good idea. That is a really heck. I'm willing to host it. I'm willing to host it.
Yeah,
I can have a co-host. If Bumpkin or HB wants to come up here and host it, I'm willing to use my platform as a way to project it, and I can just have entire streams dedicated to Stanley just going against somebody.
Yeah, him doing like 90 minutes of just back and forth with somebody with the moderator, I think is good. Which
Yeah, that'd be peak.
which I think is why he struggles on John's channel, is because she just overtalks everybody and then threatens to kick him off, so nobody really wants to engage.
Honestly, he needs to do it. I don't know if he does it on his own channel. He mainly just restreams his own stuff on his channel, but he needs to do it on his own channel.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't know. Stanley doesn't like me, so I don't. Anything I say is just gonna attack me. So it doesn't really fucking matter. I heard him throw a little shot before he left about me.
It's insane. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, he did say. Oh yeah, speaking of EAE, got him to pull up on. Is thinking about trying to get him to pull up on Lowe's panel. He said if you let him know the next. Yeah. He said the next time he comes up, EAE's gonna send him the link and saying he's gonna make an attempt to pop in.
Bro, that guy's gonna be such a fucking vibe kill, bro.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Lowe will let him up though, so it doesn't.
Lowe will let him up.
I'm interested to see what Lowe will think though.
I want to see them get into it again.
They've gone, they've gone back and forth before.
Yeah, they've done it.
That's why she doesn't really.
All he does is have to say the slightest thing or interrupt her a little bit too much, and bada bing, bada boom, we got the fuck shit.
Yeah.
True, actually.
Yeah,
but anyway, back to y'all got anything else to say before we get back to this clip?
No, Jay Prince is just a YouTube gold, man. He's just a very raw person, even though it's crazy. He's just like disgusting. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's
disgusting.
Disgusting.
He's the dick cheese. He's the dick cheese of.
He's the dick cheese. He wants to scrape off himself, bro.
It's like, oh, I got Jay Prince on my shit. I gotta rub that off.
I gotta rub that off.
Gotta rub that shit
that
off.
Dick cheese of social media.
That's fucking crazy.
So if this vagina smell bad, go get her some Dove. You said she looked good. Fix her up and make her the woman that you want her to be. Because all these good, classy ass vaginas ain't gonna reach out to you, Jay.
Oh, you just hurted my whole soul. Why you say that?
Because what was the
wait a minute.
with 3 baby mamas and 2 possibility? Who gonna do that?
But hold up. What's that woman? Russell Wilson, Sierra. So Sierra can have men can be stepfathers, right? And men can come into a woman's vicinity and not know who her baby daddy really is, and be a stepdaddy. You mean to tell me women can't be a stepmama?
Hold on, real quick. If you're gonna tell the Sierra story, you tell the full Sierra story. First of all, she had 1 child. We knew who the father was. She's also worth millions of dollars. She's in circles that hold on, real quick. You just can't talk about that's not Sierra's story. She didn't come with 5 baby daddies and 5 kids. She came with 1 child. 1 child. Okay, Russell
Steve
Wilson.
Harvey.
Hold on. And we're gonna further talk about Sierra. She had 3 children for her husband, so she ain't the woman that you qualify for.
Well, like Steve Harvey, he went over there and played stepdaddy to all them kids. But women don't got no problem with us playing stepdaddy. I can't get a good stepmama.
Okay, first of all, Jay, let's talk about the men. You named 2 multi-millionaire men. They will always be able to get top tier women. So unless you got 10 million or more in your bank, you better settle for the vagina that you got to get it together.
I would just like to know, Jay Prince wholeheartedly has 10 million in the bank.
Really?
Yes, wholeheartedly. He has 10 million in the bank. He's got 10 million food stamps in the bank right now. They just haven't been distributed to him yet.
I was gonna say that's it. That's all he has.
He got 10 million Social Security benefits in the bank. Did you know this nigga ain't got no job? I found this out a couple of weeks back. Apparently he runs I think it was said on stream and maybe I forgot about it or something, but apparently he runs like a hot dog cart or something.
Yeah, that's what I know. I don't know if he's still doing it or not.
Yeah, it was curious.
Have you seen the video? That's a video you need to review.
There's a video.
Yeah. Bro, come on.
Yeah.
Please,
dirty glizzies.
Please send that to me. We'll review that shit next stream. Please.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
Hot dog. I can see him. I can see him in an apron in a hot dog.
I bet you 100% them dogs look like his dreadlocks, bro. 100%.
It is disgusting, man.
Oh God.
What is this channel? Jay Prince for president, I think.
This is an interesting conversation that they're having, though.
What about
the Steve Harvey example and like how she's naming How Jay Prince is just named Steve Harvey and another dude, both with millions, and their stepdads, I guess. Yeah. And so it kind of doesn't make sense to me, like how you have this much money and you still want to play somebody else's saved game. I just don't understand why the fuck you wouldn't want to. You have that money, you don't actually fucking go to Dubai, find a fucking virgin bitch, and like fucking groom her, bro. I don't understand. Like, what the fuck?
Maybe it's the simple fact that Steve Harvey does not want to go through the trouble of having his own fresh meat. Maybe he wants that experience. He's like, I'm old. I can't handle all that. But yet he wants to have a woman with kids. Maybe he wants that added responsibility.
So you're telling me he wants to raise kids that he cannot discipline?
If we want to go back and, if we want to go, honestly, I don't disagree with you about any of this because I think it's weird as well. But if we want to really have a discussion about why higher tier men, specifically higher tier black men, make the actual effort of raising single moms or, hooking up with single moms, we can definitely do that. We can do that. We can do that.
I'd be interested.
I don't really have, because I have no answer or no rebuttal. Universal might know way more, obviously would know way more about that than I do. But I think it's just as weird at the simple fact that maybe I'm thinking anyway, that he personally, Steve Harvey, wants the added responsibility or simply loves the woman enough and is willing to take care of her, how many kids she has. Because I don't know how many he's currently dealing with at the moment.
There's also a generational element here. Like Steve Harvey comes from a stepdaddy era. That was a very common thing for black men to do, is become stepdads in the 70s and 80s. So I think you guys are young where it's like it's reversed at this point. One, women are very different, and two, your choices are a lot better due to feminism.
And he still got the stank box. What does that say about Jay Prince?
Well, shit. I mean, to a certain extent, Kendra's kind of right. Like, he's probably going for low hanging fruit pussy, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I think he has a prime time subscription to Ghetto Gaggers. And that's what, and he extrapolates it to the outside world. That's it.
Hot dog stand. I'm still trying to find it. He goes live a lot, but he doesn't title his stream.
Yeah, he does. He really does. I just don't. I've never really, honestly. We should review some of Jay Prince. I'll just get a collection of clips and we could just review those. In all honesty, because a lot of the stuff he does on his own stream is kind of messed up, especially the stuff with his kids and nephews, because they're little statistics. Honestly, from what I've been hearing, they're little statistics themselves.
That's fucked up.
Because you got 3 baby mamas and 2 possibilities. You are now on the same level as Russell Wilson and Steve Harvey.
But Steve Harvey woman that he went on ain't no top tier. She was with one of those
cookies. I want to say about Margie Harvey, but she's fly as hell to be at her age.
Not no more. She don't got to shit like she used to.
How about this? All you men stop talking about Steve Harvey's wife, because Steve Harvey already told y'all that he about his wife. So y'all can sit and be on YouTube talking to Kendra G, but her husband rocked for her. So all you men jealous of Marvin G. Harvey's wife? Her husband already shut y'all asses down. That's why y'all ain't.
I'm jealous at the fact that I'm mad. I'm not jealous of her. I'm mad at the fact that us men, especially, I was brought up around women, single mama homes, right? And they told me that if I find a special woman, don't matter if she got kids and all this other type of stuff. If you love that, if you can't accept a woman for who she is and everything that come with her, don't take that woman. As far as with her kids, so that stuff was implemented in us men. That's why you see majority black men as stepfathers, right? Especially coming up. But now when the shoes get flipped, we can't get that privilege. Are you serious?
Well, listen, I don't know who taught you that lesson, but they should have taught you the lesson. Whoever you have a child with, marry her and start a family, because we talk about.
We don't do families since I dated.
Listening to you when you talk, you got 3 kids by 3 different women and 2 other possible women potentially. So that's 5 women that might have your children all together. And yet you're on my show looking for a new woman. So you couldn't sit down with one of those 5 women and start and build a 2-family household. So all these people.
She is cooking this, man. She really is cooking.
It's just black women talk. I just don't really. Sure, she's cooking, but at the end of the day, she's not perfect herself, right?
True. She is. I don't know much about Kendra G. I mainly found her because Portia streamed one of her clips. I think it was this clip actually on John's channel, and I looked at some of her stuff. And to be fair, she's just. It's mainly her. It's mainly like most of her really entertaining stuff is usually a nigga that can't wipe his own ass, and Kendra G telling them, "Hey, make sure you use toilet paper next time." That's the whole thing. That's the whole back and forth.
It's just funny how like she tells this guy, "Oh, like you need to be fucking like the same woman that you're fucking. You need to be raising the same kids with, but like you're gonna dress like that in front of a fucking camera and tell this nigga how to live." I just find that absolutely hilarious. Like you do not dress modest at all. You're gonna tell this nigga to live traditionally. Are you fucking serious?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With them big ass fucking G-sized tits up.
She got them. See, she is the reason black men are associated with watermelon so much. That's why.
Speaking of that, I found a clip of some niggas eating water in a watermelon contest.
What?
Yeah, I'll put it in the back for you. I think I put it in. Yeah, I'll find. If you want to show it, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'll show it in a minute.
It's current too. You don't have to show it now. I'm just saying if you just want to.
No. Yeah. I gotcha. It's just that this is so funny, man. I don't get. Honestly, to be fair, I don't really know much about Jay Prince, but God, stuff like this is entertaining. Just seeing a nigga go through such basic elements of life and then complaining about it. I don't know what the main draw is. Maybe it's the way he complains about it. Because if this was a white man having these same problem, it wouldn't be this entertaining. But for some reason, when it's this nigga or any nigga, it's just funny. I don't get it. Maybe I'm evil. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if he would sort of have the discussion this way if there wasn't a woman on the asking these questions. If it was two dudes, I'm sure his perception would be a little bit, or his answers would be a little bit different.
In my opinion, if it was two dudes, it wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, that too. It could just be like, oh, see, women are like that. Yeah, it probably could just be.
Yeah, so
back the same thing.
Yeah, but women really do be like, and then it's just that
entire
time.
It's just a jerk session, yeah.
Yeah, it's still funny though. It's still funny. Anyway,
people that was giving you life lessons when you was a child, they should have said, whoever you have a baby with, marry her and start the family. So you got to be on Kendra G show one day looking for baby mama number 6.
But Kendra G, I have seen women came on your channel and expected the most, and their situation was either like mine or even worse.
I have said
you didn't come that hard on them.
That is not. Listen, I said to this. No, hold on. First of all, Jay, I'm going hard on you because it's your third time on my show. So this is not your first time on my show, but I got to give it to you hard. The third.
Hold on, what? Okay, I didn't know that. He's been on here 3 times. I can understand 2 times because the first time he had to get set up, and then this time. But I didn't know he was on here prior. Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's good content. He's. I'm sure whoever is producing her show, they realize this dude is good content.
I'll see if I can find those other clips.
Third time because you're calling back for a third time. So now it's your reality check time. Now you need to understand the woman that you're really qualified for. So that's why I'm going so hard. Second thing is, all day long, we talk about the delusional women on my show. I think at least that's what we hear about all day long. And I'm not here to negate. There are delusional women that call on my show. But Jay, you happen to represent the delusional men tonight.
But you don't think I'm worthy enough for some woman with some good smelling pussy?
No.
So I deserve, and I qualify.
That's crazy.
Anything?
Bruh. The fact that
I don't know.
That question is crazy.
That's a crazy question.
Yeah, the fact that he actually asked that question is crazy.
Crazy.
But I mean, it does prove a point to her logic, which I think is also crazy. But yeah, that's all it is.
For some stank coochie.
I think you get this.
I got kids.
Hold on. I think you get the stank coochie and you fix it up. You get her some Dove. You teach her some hygiene. You make her, but the woman that got good smelling coochie ain't just naturally reaching out to you.
That is fucked up. You know you telling this to all us men that's in.
Well, men gotta start realizing with your pool of women too. Y'all, you up here talking about Sierra like Sierra was an option for you, Jay.
She could have been. I got swag. Kendra G, I thought women, when it comes to women, I thought the idea is like, I thought men, hear me out, Kendra G. I thought men inflicted what women should want out of a man as far as like finances, right? But throughout my life, I have got women that I thought I couldn't even get because I didn't have no finances. And throughout time, I realized what women is attracted to is not what we think, not what men think what women should be attracted to. I think a lot of times what's currency to women is a male personality, the character of the man, how he can make her feel emotionally, how he can connect with her emotionally. And like I'm the type of guy, when a woman get around me, she usually have fun. She be relaxed. I know how to make a woman be completely herself, and I can connect with her mentally. So I got all of these qualities, and women is more attracted to that. And Kendra G, for your info, I have seen women will leave this high class, high earning man, right? Because the only thing this man got is money. He cheating on her every day because he got money, right? Majority of these high value men is not loyal to you, not faithful to you. You just another number of all of his chicks. Whereas a nigga like me, I'm treating you like I'm acknowledging who you are. I'm making your voice be heard. I make your presence be heard. I'm giving you attention a little bit, not sweating you, but I'm giving you a little attention, make you feel like a human being. And when you get around me, you can just be 100 and we just laugh, we talk. I could talk to you, Kendra G. Me and you conversate. Me and you could be conversating to the morning we wake up.
No, the hell we wouldn't. No, the hell we would not. We this is the only exchange we ever gonna have on this damn YouTube channel. But let me say this, Jay. You talking a lot of good game, but you also have 3 baby mamas and 2 potential baby.
Oh, that's a hindrance?
Hold on, 2 potential baby mamas. So that's 5 women. Why couldn't you settle down with any of the women that had?
She keep bringing that up. She keeps bringing that up.
She does, actually. That's interesting.
Yeah. That is, honestly, I don't know why she keeps holding it against them. Due to the simple fact that the woman that I'm assuming she set him up with had a stank box, and she's out here obfuscating that with you can't hold down a woman, and you got 3 to 5 baby mamas.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's just that's pretty much a low, reaching for the lowest fruit right there.
Yeah, that's why Black American. This is why Black American couples can't get along. I know they're not a couple, but like this little back and forth and this pettiness.
Oh, yeah. Let me just add something else. What this nigga Jay Prince was talking about, I don't necessarily agree with, because at the end of the day, bro, if you don't pay the bills as a man, this bitch is going to continue to talk to you like this until she finds another man that actually will pay the bills. Because at the end of the day, bitches don't want to fucking pay the bills. Okay, so like this nigga talk about, oh, I want to talk to you. You know, like I act like I care. Like at the end of the day, I may not make the best finances, but hey, compared to the millionaire, I actually give a fuck. That only goes so far, nigga. Game only goes so far, and that's just the facts. If you don't have a fucking job, you're a bum. The fuck?
But he got swag.
Yeah, he got swag. He got swag, King. He got swag.
We got swag,
bro. Swag enough for stank pussy, bro. That's what it is, dog. The fuck?
And guys like Jay Prince, man, like the goal is just to get your numbers up and have sex. So like for him, having swag is like top tier because swag can get you some pussy. So
that is true.
You know, what else does he need to do? If he can say, well, I still smashed at the end of the day, I mean, he's reached his ultimate goal. A lot of guys do. A lot of black men.
Nigga logic.
Yeah, exactly. Nigga logic. That's just what I was about to say. That's a fresh nigga logic right there, man. Whew.
Some fucking fresh Walter Fleek shit right there, for sure.
Yeah, and what Kendra's doing with bringing up the baby, the multiple children, she's trying to reverse engineer the thing that black women get hit with when they have multiple baby daddies. It's not hitting well though, but she keeps trying.
Yeah.
Their children.
Because it's just like asking a woman that's sitting around here that got a high body count, one, and also got all of these baby daddies. How come all of those men?
I'm asking you. We're talking to you right now, Jay.
Never decide to marry you
because you're the one here with this dissertation and saying how what you were talking about. You said you're this great. Hold on. You said you're this great man. Women have fun with you. You all these great qualities. Why have you not settled down with any of the women that had your children?
What Kendrick G? It's not like I'm doing this on purpose, right? Because I'm at an age where now, like waking up, seeing different women, it's embarrassing to me now. Now I feel like it's unstable.
Hold on, what?
Interesting.
Okay.
Talk, bro.
You telling me? You know what? I'm not gonna say nothing. Screw it.
Compared to when I was in my younger years, I thought that I was the shit. But now I'm like 38, and I'm like, damn, I'm like
he's
38.
38.
38. What?
I thought this was like 50 something.
I thought.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this now. This is last year, so this is not far off. This happened last
Are you
year.
telling me that we're almost the same age, bro?
You're the same age as
I thought he was at
Wow.
least
Isn't that crazy, bro?
46.
Holy shit.
This is what tells me that Jay Prince just isn't mature, bro. Like, it just is what it is because he's not trying to raise a fucking family.
This nigga
Trying to fuck around and fucking get a nut off, bro. Like, what the fuck, man?
You got 3 little nuts off running around right now. Oh, that's funny. I didn't think he was 38 though. I thought he was way older. I thought he was in like his 50s.
I guess I miscalculated because it's swag. I'm thrown
His
off
swag-
by the swag.
his-
I'm thrown off by the swag.
This nigga is in the damn near his 40s. Talking about
Swag.
He's up there with Snoop Dogg being old as hell. Talking about, oh, yo, man, I was in a game, bro. I got that on, homie.
You know, with different women, that's not cool at all. I feel disgusted. So I started practicing sexual discipline, and I just been trying to find that
He
right
said
one.
sexual discipline.
And
Did you hear what he said?
He said sexual discipline.
There you go, Gary. That's your next shoe for G Prince. Sexual discipline.
Sexual discipline. Sexual discipline. For Thursday. We're gonna make that a Wednesday stream.
I think I at least deserve something. And I didn't think having children for a man is a hindrance. But I don't never hear women tell women all of these expectations when they want expectations, but they got a lot of kids. Men is told to love a woman and accept her for who she is in the package that comes with her. How come you ain't pushing women off on me?
Well, I already told. Well, first of all, Jay, I already told you the reason why I'm going hard. Jay, hold on, we both can't talk. This is your 3rd time on my show. You're supposed to only get 2 times. So at the 3rd time, it's time for me to just keep it funky and real with you. 2024. If you want to understand why you're not attracting that woman with good smelling vagina, this is the reason why. So you got the woman whose vagina smell bad. You could just fix it up. You could have kept it real with her, said, baby, we got to work on this hygiene. Got her some dub. You said she looked good. So that was just one area I got to work on. A woman that really has her stuff together, she's probably not, just like a man who really got themselves together, might not be reaching out to the woman that got 3 baby daddies or 4 baby daddies. She might not get this guy that she desires. She might got to work with the man she get. So let's be clear. The only reason I'm going this hard with you is because it's your 3rd time calling me up. So I got to go hard now because you coming up here acting like you Steve Harvey or Russell Wilson and baby boy.
I feel like I'm the shit. So you just gonna inflate my ego like that.
I'm not inflating your nothing. I'm just keeping it real to you so you can understand that the woman that had the smelly vagina, that was God's blessing to you. You should have got you some dub, helped her wash her ass, and rock life out.
Wow.
Dang. Okay.
Well, when she puts it like that, it kind of seems wrong. Because, I mean, I'll say this from experience. There's been dates and stuff that it's not the best, like maybe someone, we ate something and, something stinks and, you don't brush your teeth or, like little things like that. I don't think, those things are fixable. It's just the first day, like, oh shit, my bad if I did something that wasn't, that kind of turned you off or some shit, But when she puts it like, oh yeah, they gave it to you. You deserve that stinky. It's like, whoa, come on now. You don't know what she was. Maybe she just didn't shower, or maybe to kind of put her down like that.
She was like that one woman who was getting the massage or the acupuncture. I forgot what it was, but she apparently her masseuse didn't want to tend to her because her box smelled too bad. Oh no, she was getting a wax. She was getting a wax. She was getting waxed.
Mercy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, usually, even for a dude, like, I mean, I usually shower before I go out and do things, but
yeah,
maybe he stank too. Maybe he was stinky in some place.
It'd be fun. It'd be funny if this whole thing was like, oh, Jay Prince was smelling that leftover dick cheesy, a little bit dick cheesy. Forgot to scrape off. His whole thing was just him, and now he's complaining about it to Kendra G.
Oh my god,
that'd be one hell of a plot twist.
I could see that being I could see that happening.
Turns out it was him. Turns out it was him the whole time. Oh shit.
Okay, well, to be honest with you, I might not think I'm Russell Wilson, but I think I'm a better father than Steve Harvey. I'm raising my kids. I don't raise no other man kids, especially put no other man kids above mine. To me, I think being a fatherhood is the top pinnacle of a man, right? And I got 3 beautiful black daughters where they can't say that I done left graveyards in their hearts and stuff like that. They wake up every day seeing their father. So I do believe that, yeah, Steve Harvey, he more in the limelight. But I think I'm a better father than that nigga.
You don't even know him. I wish I would stop talking about celebrities like y'all really know celebrities. You don't even know Steve Harvey besides what you see posted on television. So you can't speak from that perspective. Jay, we gotta go though. So are you up here really trying to meet somebody else?
Yes, I'm up here trying to at least find a woman that
and he trying to get back with it. Okay. At least he ain't giving up. He might get another one though. Might get another stank box.
Might get another nut off, yeah, facts.
Yeah, he might get another one. He might get her sister.
Oh.
Same.
He might get her mom.
Yeah.
Will at least come up here from Kendra G. Representation. Least shit. Wet wipes, something before you come to my fucking hotel. Clean your ass. I should have. That's not too much ass for Kendra G. Come on. I should be meeting women. Like, come on.
How could the woman reach out to you, honey?
On my channel, J Prince for President, the same way the other woman, it's on my name, J Prince. Oh, they say J Prince for the street. I got another channel, but J Prince for President, on my YouTube channel. That's how I met the other one, and we end up, inboxing, and I brought it on my channel.
After that, smelly vagina gate, you ended everything.
Well, I had to put her down slowly. It was like I didn't just say cut loose. I didn't want to do it like that because I was thinking about the respect for you, right? I didn't want to treat your people badly like that.
Wait, the respect for me, just like you don't.
Y'all got something to say?
No, it's just funny. He keeps reverting back to this woman. Like the quality should have been a certain way because he found her on the show. I think that's funny.
Well, I think it's kind of nice. At least he holds Kendra in a high regard to the point to where if I'm gonna get a girl recommended to her, she better be a top tier high value woman. A high value woman.
Yeah, or at least have her, her hygiene.
What is a high value woman? What the fuck?
I don't know. I'm just making stuff up as I go.
Oh shit.
I have no idea, man. A high value. Maybe she's capable of busting out like 8 kids per nut.
Ooh.
High value. A whole brood on her. That's what she's capable of. A bee queen. And call her Ant Queen.
Fucking hive mind type shit.
Yeah. Still though, it does make a lot of. I mean, it makes sense for Jay Prince's perspective. He does be Kendra G. At least from what I've heard, does have a pretty high record of like matching people.
I think if Stanky Pussy came from her show, that says something about her show, man. I don't know.
It's either that or it says. Honestly, in my opinion, it says more about Jay Prince because he didn't check it. Yeah, he went after it and he didn't check it before he decked it. So I don't know.
Shit, dog.
Don't really represent me.
I think it probably got like 5 different rashes right now. Got a new species growing up on his crotch right now.
You just want my trouble.
But I don't want to put it like this. You got to think about this though, Kendra. Let's just say people come over here, they meet people, and let's just say people do some harm. Let's say they attract some crazy people.
That's not on me. I said in the beginning, whoever you know, that's not on me. It says it in the beginning. Whoever you meet is at your own risk. Kendra G is not reliable for anybody you meet. So that's on you. But what you got to realize, Jay, and I stand by law of attraction. So whoever you are attracted is somebody like yourself. And unless you're going to change yourself, you're gonna keep attracting yourself. So so you want to put the responsibility on everybody in the world except for your ass. Now, whoever reaches out to you is because of you. And it's that simple. Happy 2024. We got to go.
All right, Kendra G, thanks for having me up.
Bye, baby. And you cannot come back. This is your third.
Okay, well,
Dang, she banned him.
Damn.
Get him out of here.
Okay. All right, y'all. I'm about to end the stream. We've been streaming for almost 4 hours. I really appreciate all you coming up. Any last words?
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully you get some followers. I shared it on my Twitter. We'll see if you can get some people over here.
I did get a subscribe. I did get like 2 subscribers while we were streaming. That's pretty nice.
Good.
That's something.
Nice.
Honestly, if I really do want to get more subscribers, I just need to stream more often. This is like literally my second official stream. That last one was nothing. Was nothing really. But I do appreciate Napstar for like trying to come up. I do remember that.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. Napstar, whenever you start streaming, only low will get you more subs. That's honestly, I do want her to come up here. I want to review this bullshit.
Yeah. We're out here raw dogging, right? We're trying to be as authentic as possible. We're not trying to go off nobody's back. So, you need to chill. Unless you come up here and start making a fucking point, then just stick to gooning and sending those good pics.
Yeah. Speaking of EAE, Napstar, you said you wanted to time him out for a week or something if you won Kahoot. I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, I asked Lo, I was like, hey, if I win trivia, can I ban or kick EAE for about a week? And then he posted like these emoji, like a crying emoji. And then she was like, oh, actually, that would be a good idea for Low and Order for that one. She's like, I ain't about it. I was like,
you're gonna have a Low and Order for banning or not muting or silent
EAE if I would. Yep, silent EAE. It'll all just be typing. So what I'm gonna do is I'll draft up what I think EAE will say, and I'll just type it and then send it to Lo. She can read it and type it out in the chat.
That's a goofy thing though, because you never really can predict what EAE is gonna say.
I know, right? Just gotta roll it. I don't know.
Well, I'll salute to you and your escapades on that.
Now, I don't know if it'll be something. I was just joking with her, but yeah, next Thursday. I'm hoping to just do Thursdays.
What time on Thursdays? Like late night Thursdays and all that?
What time did I start? I started like at 3. And see, this is the weird part because you know how y'all are on the east side.
Yeah.
And so the only reason why I was able to do that long, actually, I didn't even plan to be that long, was because I was on this side, so I can stay up longer versus y'all where it's already like, 6, 7 o'clock? So 3 o'clock my time, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's about 6. And then I ended like around 8, 9, 10, 12. It was already 12 o'clock.
I didn't even get to.
So
I'm surprised I was able to get up there. It was like 1 o'clock when I got on there. It was like 1.
Yeah.
Like
see, that was
1:30.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, EAE. There's no way like OPC was getting all of those answers right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I wholeheartedly think people really found a very efficient way to just Google most of those answers, like a vast majority of them.
Oh yeah, the capitals thing. I was guessing. That's most of it. In a way.
Yeah. By the way, I did want to tell you. I don't know if I remember you saying something in chat or like in Discord about it, but I did find a cheaper alternative to StreamYard.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get it working though. I tried going live, or I tried actually going live at around 6:40, but every time I clicked the live button, it wouldn't register on here. Once I figure that out, I guess I don't know what the problem is, but once I figure it out, I guess I'll just be using it from now on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I looked it up, and I do have some interest in it. I just wanted to do what you were doing, probably test it out and see what happens.
If you use it to go live, and if it does work for you, tell me about it, because I have no idea what the heck the problem was. Maybe I had
what computer? What kind of computer do you have?
Oh, I have a laptop. I got a ThinkPad. I'm mainly using it for ThinkPad. But it should work though, because they have the same A lot of the interface is the same. It just has a lot more bells and whistles. So I'm assuming they're using the same software basis.
Okay. I'll try it on here. I have those MacBook Air things.
What is it? Yeah, what the heck does EAE mean by us not doing Black Mirror? You mean like watching it in the Discord or reviewing the episodes?
Talking about what?
We aren't doing Attorney Woo. We aren't doing Black Mirror.
We're not doing anything.
Let me get that shit done, man.
I've been waiting for Attorney Woo, bro.
Like, Jesus.
We can't. Yeah, I actually do want us to review the Black Mirror episodes once we, watch them.
Yeah, that would be cool. I think we're just going to have to do it outside of low and just do Black Mirror. We'll just watch it and then.
I was like, fuck it. I was like, fuck it. If I can figure out how to. I don't have Netflix, but I can probably find a way to pull it up.
That's what Lo does sometimes. She goes on those.
If Speed can do it, we can do it. Well,
yeah. Fuck it. We'll see if we can do it sometime tomorrow. I'll be free tomorrow since church has been. We actually had a special event going on today for the Memorial of Jesus Christ, so I don't have church tomorrow. So I'll see if I can pull it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just let us know what time.
All right. I'm gonna end it. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow.
Perfect. Have a good evening, gentlemen.
Later.
You too. All right, everyone. I appreciate all of you guys for coming up. I also appreciate all of those who are willing to donate. I didn't get any donations, but I thank you for giving me your time and energy. Shout out to Universal, Brown Man. Shout out to EAE, not EAE, but shout out to EAE anyway. Shout out to Napstar. And shout out to my main man, Stanley, Orthodox, and Bumpkin. I personally invited them up here. And I wanted to hear their opinions on the debate. Shout out to all of you. And yes, EAE, I got no donations. I'm a broke bitch. But I do appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. It's all good, though. Later, y'all.